Personal plan. But
I was joking. Why would? One day I was showing up, you know, that bike boy on his baby.
You get your license.
The hair and everything, this is for a lot. This is for a lot.
Yeah, and I think the.
For one meeting? How are you?
How are you? Good, thank you.
The paper that she was interested. I sent you the ask for document. Oh, good. I emailed it to you. Oh, good.
Sorry, but I didn't. You know, again, just, I always just, you know, take, not too busy and then. Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Here's your sheet.
You just one copy.
Yes. That's right.
I don't have one at office. Well, I think right there, you know.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Then I'll go to these people and one Leslie, but we don't do the guys. Oh, yeah, Leslie. These are the people. This is the grand guy. Where's everyone?
You know what, Leslie?
Yes,
I did print it and I grabbed it. Because I had it.
so he's reading it to you now, so it's fine. It's the one from February 2 days.
Yeah, but I remember grabbing it off the printer.
How would that do, I guess?
Probably. Probably it was all the printer.
Oh, good morning.
Morning.
How are you? All right, you have to work. No, you're good. We can leave your house down. You're both good. There we go. Yes, we have a meeting. Yes,
If there is, and that's not used to. The parts it's used for. Like, oh, something different, that's something, you know, not like, they have none of it. But I heard some groups like Think about thinking that this is our supervisor, you use us as a class, just make their, well, they have for their PWG. They come, they set out of the hearings. But I think it's a good use. We use it for HLC, the HLC visit, yeah, so for the HLC visit, we used it, this is where they set everything up, this is where we have.
Here's a big one.
She's been in the case of the shadows of the policy, massage years for the break.
Replace pages.
Okay.
This is just me and you. Oh, that's nice. So then,
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm saying about the saw
It was good.
he was about meetings today for him on now this makes it business. Or business. I don't know what's wrong with that. Don't tell me how to drive it.
You know, and then I think we could. But, and yes, real time, you're gonna enter here. So that's what we're doing. Yes. That's what we are. Actually, the other time, the Already or see what the open, if they were left, already fine, finally, I sleep. Checking, make sure the. Yes.
It is very nice.
She said, that's how she started, she said, like, just emergency. Yes, it is.
Hello. How are you? Good morning. Hi, guys. How are you? Good. Got Linda walking from over there.
It's beautiful today.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Not Brenda. She's out of breath and I'm 78. How is that awesome? I can read that. Good morning, Madam Chair. I know. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right.
Really, that's no. It's okay. That's how you run it.
I'll do it this morning.
Oh, he was like, oh, so you realize that was the whole, the other person. Yes, sir, yes. Thank you. Give us his account. Okay.
Okay, slow down. Yeah.
So these are good, they're open, they're your budget.
Thank you.
What was the other one you?
Wait, move it off.
Who brought us up first?
I just brought you those.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I found.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. And establish a quorum. Roll call with Leanne?
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Louise Martinez.
Yes.
Secretary Mark Dominguez.
Yes.
Trustee Andrea Savvy. Present. Trustee Richard DeVille.
Yeah.
Trustee Rolando Medrano.
I'm just waiting. But he's not present. He's not present. Yeah.
Trustee Rosalie Ortega.
Present. Could you read the notice of meeting?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. This is the regular board meeting of trustees meeting of the Luna Community College Board of Trustees.
Notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with the Luna Community College Open Meetings Act resolution. The agenda was posted at least 72 hours in advance of today's meeting at the office of the president and on the Luna Community College website at www.luna.edu. Any person who requires any special accommodations to attend or participate may contact the Luna Community College president at 505-454-2500 or 1-800-588-7232, extension 1000 for assistance. Thank you.
Thank you, pledge of allegiance,
Good morning, everybody.
Dr. Shields. Could you lead us, please?
But now I'll be glad to. I pledge allegiance to the flag
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And before we go any further, does the board want to take a recess to eat, or do you want to wait until 11? So. Now, or at a recess? Okay, we'll do a recess then between, how about if we do it after shared government? Is that okay with everyone?
Yes.
Okay, good sense. Approval of the agenda.
Make motion that we approve the agenda.
Right after share government.
I'll second.
And, roll call, Leslie Ann?
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez,
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Louise Portillo.
Yes.
Secretary Martin Dominguez.
Yes.
Trustee Andrea Sandy.
Yes.
Trustee Vincent Vito.
Yes.
Trustee Rolando Medrano. Trustee Rosalie Arteaga.
Yes.
Then the minutes pass. I have some questions, oh, sorry, approval of the agenda. Approval of the minutes, January 13th minutes. I have a couple of questions. I wasn't quite sure. On page 3, we did not get a foundation report because Carla said that the board hadn't met, and I know they're meeting tomorrow, maybe?
They did meet in, these houses,
Yeah,
and then they're meeting next week as well.
so when will we get the full financial report that she promised?
I can follow up and ask.
Okay,
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was about to ask that also.
Yeah, but
But
you follow up.
they told us that they would get it to us after their meeting
Right.
in January, and we hadn't received it.
and then instead of having to wait until March, could you just have them an email to it?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for bringing
They
that up.
probably mentioned that at the meeting, and so I'll follow up.
Thank you.
Okay, another item on page 4, on the LCC Skills and Solutions Expo, how is that going?
Is that a question for me?
Yes,
So,
this was part of the academics committee meeting.
yes, the Chair, Dr. Martinez, thank you for that question. The planning is going forward with that. And I think that Dr. Romero can provide a short update today in her report.
Keep it that during the Thank
Yes.
you, Dr. Merrill. The next item, where it says Luna at the legislature, and it has Martinez, Portillo, Medrano, Ortega, Vigil, and Sandy. I didn't see, trustee Medrano there.
Here you go.
That was for the legislature.
That was for Luna.
Luna Day, I didn't go.
Okay, so there was only 3 of us.
Four.
Martinez, oh, it's 5,
And trustee.
4 of us, yes. It's on page 5 at the top.
Oh. That is page 5 at the top right here.
Yes.
That right there is for the historical roundtable. On 2.
Oh, because it says.
Yes, that's the historical roundtable.
Luna Day for legislature 122, and then the next bullet under that.
Is this?
No.
It's on roundtable 2.
No, I'm talking about
Oh,
this
this
right
one,
here.
okay.
That got it, okay, yeah,
Right.
All right,
so we'll correct that.
okay.
All right, Leslie,
Not Madrona, not.
The other one's correct.
Okay, got
And then, except for Mr. Dominguez, trustee Dominguez,
Can I serve you, Madam Chair?
you have to remove him on that list. All right, Leslie Ann?
Name take me out of this world.
Under his national round table. Remove it, Dave.
People that need to go.
Yeah, but they didn't intend, so.
I don't.
Is there any other place where you're gonna have a report of who actually attended? If there is, you can leave it as such.
I mean, that's what we talked about that day.
Yeah.
Meetings. So
Okay.
this was kind of read
Okay.
hours.
All right, so then we'll leave it at that.
leave it at.
I believe for Rolando that agreed to go too, and
Those are the people that have agreed to go with that.
Exactly.
so we will.
So there's another place where we have enough data as to who actually
Do an
went.
update later.
Okay, on page 8. But the top bullets, quilting class analysis update and February board meeting. We're gonna be able to get that from Dr. Romero. Okay, because I have concerns with the amount of money that's being charged.
Yeah, Dr. Romero's prepared to provide an update.
Okay. And, on page 9, did trustee Portillo's stay in the meeting? Cause it says, excuse yourself at 2:15. You remained for the whole meeting, didn't you?
I thought I did, didn't
Yes.
You left right after.
You left at the executive.
Okay,
I?
so, yeah, so she didn't come back then.
Well,
Okay.
I went into executive.
So that's correct. Yeah, but she left at 2:15.
I did come back.
Right. And on the special meeting, I don't think I had any issues. You're gonna be doing new personnel, there's a couple of questions I have on. All right, so do I have a motion to approve the minutes of January 13th? Movement here.
I'll second it. Madam Chair.
And the roll call, Leslie Ann.
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Louise Portillo.
Yes.
Secretary Martin Dominguez.
Yes.
Trustee Andrea Sandy.
Yes.
Trustee Richard Miguel.
Yes.
Trustee Rolando Medrano. Trustee Rosalie Ortega.
Yes.
Okay, and the next one is special session meeting January 27th. Do I have a motion to approve that?
So move it.
Okay, I had no questions. I don't know if anyone else had any questions.
I didn't read the meetings, I don't know. I didn't get my package, for some reason. Leslie Ann has corrected it multiple times on her part, and it says, if the post office, Madam Chair, sends them back to her, she's putting the right address, so I don't know what to send them.
Wait 1 minute. Is there discussion?
Yeah, an extra one.
He has to.
No, but I guess some. Did you not get yours?
You have an extra
An
one?
extra what? Packet.
Today, for packet?
Forgot mine.
I didn't forget mine, I just didn't get it, so.
You know what's really strange, Leslie Ann, is I got in here, I got mine on Thursday. Thursday, they were mailed Wednesday.
Mine is, guys, like, I read it.
And you know what it says, postmark 8701 Las Vegas, first time ever.
They sent it direct.
They sent it from Las Vegas to Hawaii. And it didn't take 5 days. Oh, it was like, it didn't take 5 days to get to me like usual, by Pony Express or even. Takes longer.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Who seconded
Get some
the
Joe
minutes?
Roberts, whatever, so they can deliver our.
Hey, that's a good idea.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes.
And who seconded that?
She made the motion.
I'll second it,
Oh.
if there's not any changes by.
Trustee Hill. Trustee Hill motion. Oh, okay.
For the first,
No, for the special.
oh, yeah,
For the motion for the special.
okay. And a second from Ortega? Okay. Roll call.
Madam
Trustee
Chair,
Ortega.
Dr. Phyllis Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Louise Portillo.
Yes.
Secretary Martin Dominguez.
Yes.
Trustee Andrea Sandy.
Yes.
Trustee Richard Miguel.
Yes.
Trustee Rolando Medrano. Trustee Rosalie Ortega.
Yes.
And next item is public comment. I have first of all here, Dr. Philo or Darrell. Oh, Carol Line. Sorry about that. But at least I can read the majority.
Not to worry, I have suffered a number of interesting things because of the way I
Hold on just
spell.
a minute, I have a question on the floor. Oh, 3 minutes is your limit.
Very good.
So,
My name is Carol Wine, Dr. Carol Wine. I am a retired higher ed administrator from Eastern New Mexico University in Portales, where I finished my 25 years there as the Assistant Vice President for Student Affairs. And so higher ed administration is a very avid interest of mine. And I'm here to talk a little bit about my observations from out there about Dr. Carol Linder and her work here at this institution. I think that this part of the state is very lucky to have Luna Community College here, which I think serves this community so well by providing opportunities. That's what you sell here. You sell opportunities for students to come, all walks of life, all different backgrounds, all different interests, and find something that speaks to them and who they want to be. And I think because of Dr. Carol Linder's experience as a faculty member at New Mexico Highlands University and a researcher there, and being foremost in her field of research, she has a kind of a unique way of seeing the whole range of the students who come here, both from northeastern New Mexico at large, as well as people who live right here in this community. And Carol has some unique ways of doing that. First of all, she has experience, and a lot of it, in the labs at Highlands and in working with other faculty, and certainly working with the experiences of the people who supervised her at Highlands. Second, Carol brings enormous amounts of energy and enthusiasm to everything she touches. And she has a way of kind of getting everybody else excited and understanding the mission of what this institution is and does in this part of the world. But more than that, Carol has vision. And that vision is exhibited in headlines that appear in our newspapers all the time about the opportunities of Luna Community College as an institution of higher education in northeastern New Mexico.
sorry, your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Next is Sierra Fernandez. If you can identify yourself, how long you have been with Luna, if you're an employee.
Okay. My name is Sierra Fernandez and I have been a faculty member at Luna for over 10 years. I am currently our school's Director of Assessment and the Higher Learning Commission Accreditation Liaison Officer. I have also served as the Student Success Coach in Nursing, the Faculty Advisor in Allied Health and Public Service, and I chaired the Retention and Completion Committee while we established subcommittees as part of our shared governance restructure during the show cause order with HLC. I am here to express concern regarding the board's recent decision affecting presidential leadership during this critical period for the institution. In the recent HLC focused visit report, the college was described as well-positioned, in part because of the strength and steadiness of our leadership. Dr. Carol Linder was recognized by name as an institutional asset due to her extensive history of service to the college, her institutional knowledge, cross-divisional leadership, and superb direction. This was also identified as central to the progress that was acknowledged by the peer review team. Choosing not to continue her contract following a report that our school produced that addresses our accreditors' concerns of instability in leadership, introduces avoidable disruption, and has clearly reduced institutional confidence in board governance. Luna is at a period where we are trying to rebuild operational strength, employee trust and morale, and overall organizational health after multiple administrative transitions. And just over a year ago, this board publicly affirmed the same positive assessment of her leadership, saying, I quote, Dr. Linder has demonstrated outstanding leadership and unwavering dedication to Luna Community College during her tenure as interim president, was stated by board chair Dr. Phyllis Martinez. You continued, her vision for the college's future, combined with her extensive experience, makes her the ideal leader to guide Luna forward. We are confident in her ability to foster accountability, compliance, and student success while ensuring the institution's fiscal sustainability. That recognition remains warranted, and the board's recent action raises concerns about alignment between prior public commitments and current governance decisions. Service on a governing board is both an honor and a significant responsibility. And board members, here you serve as stewards for the institution on behalf of students, employees, and the communities that you represent. And decisions I feel should reflect that. For these reasons, I respectfully urge the board to reconsider this decision in light of the college's trajectory and the institutional risks that are associated with disruption.
Your time is up. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item is going to be new personnel and employee student recognition. Dr. Linder.
Thank you, Chair Dr. Martinez. And I don't have page numbers on mine.
It's right after. They're right after the special meeting.
So I have it, it's on page 12.
Right.
So anyway, on page 12, you can find that as of February 10th, the new employees that are listed, and you can see that we actually have hired quite a few new community ed instructors. And so one of the changes that we made in the new year was to go back to actually employing our community ed instructors. And then the students actually are enrolling through our new modern campus software. And this is something that we made the decision last year, and we invested in software that's going to allow us to actually set up and offer those classes. And if you go on the website, you can just see there's a link to it right from our homepage right above the photos there. But so you can see that we have hired people in community ed. We've hired, we have money from the state to hire campus safety aide, and we did hire Julian Patamio in that, and I think we're set to hire somebody else in that role. We hired Raylan Griffiths, who's actually been helping Crystal as a student for the last year and a half, I think, Crystal.
Maybe it's been that long already. No.
Yeah, a year and a half. And so Raylan, you can see her smiling at the Luna East and helping out in every way across the board. And she's now our administrative assistant in allied health. And Amberlyn Gonzalez actually moved over, and she is now the administrative assistant in STEM. So she did not leave, she just had a lateral transfer over to STEM. So Amberlyn had served in allied health very well. We did get a bus driver to drive our athletes that we've been looking at for that for a long time. And then we've hired some preschool teachers within that, and then 2 people within the nursing program, an RN retention specialist, Javier, and then a student success coach, Marquisa Lucero. Dr. Thompson actually resigned effective January 30th. I've been saying that he retired because he is retiring, but he didn't have enough service to formally retire from Luna Community College, but he worked for Luna for 5 years. So we appreciate that. We have listed some of these vacancies, and I did give a little bit more of an update in my weekly report about key vacancies. And so, but I'm happy to answer any questions about that. And then what you will see, yes, I'm sorry.
Are you gonna, if this position, is it going to be this?
So at this moment, we are not replacing that position. I think that's a good question. Thank you. So you do see, starting on page 12 and 13, there are a whole bunch of different shout outs. that have been shared. And again, what Leslie Ann does is she pulls out of the different reports that people submit. And then she puts all these in.
Excuse me, that would probably be our page 16.
Well, I'm looking at these reports right here.
Okay, page 13.
Yeah, starting on page 13 where it says staff and student recognition, all of those recognitions are what directors have actually pulled out. What? That's all right. Yeah, that's all right. And so I'm not gonna take the time to highlight all of those, but I really think that that's one of the things that we've done a good job at here is recognizing, and I think trustee Portillo's, you're the one that said, let's try to do that more. So thank you so much. I think that it's really great that we're doing that. And then all the people that helped out with Luna Day, we did get a photo and we've listed all those as well. And then again, I think Chair Dr. Martinez was referring to, and it's a little bit hard to read on this report, but if you get the staff emails, Denise sends this out as well, or the New Year shout outs that we have as well that are these little pullouts. So she's much more creative. I did shout outs for the first several years that I was at Luna, and I did not actually do them as creatively as Denise, but she's an artist. So I'm happy to take any questions about the employee recognition or any of the.
Just one more, just another shout out to Leslie Ann for all your hard work. You know how
Yes.
much the board
Thank you.
appreciates.
We're taking care of us.
She is listed in one of these things. Reading it out.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And I have another question.
Yes.
On the bookstore cafe, he talks about this process and this program, and I know you refer to it someplace else first day. Can you give us the board a little bit of an update as to what that is?
Thank you, Dr. Martinez. And this is something that Dr. Romero has reported on before and has included in this even last fall. So First Day Complete is the new bookstore contract that we have. And what that does is it allows the students, instead of buying individual books, they pay a one set price per credit hour, right, Dr. Romero? Per credit hour, $22 per credit hour. Students can opt out. For instance, dental assisting, for instance, already had their books for the year, so this went live this spring. It's a contract we signed last July. It's designed to actually lower costs for students in terms of books, but the other really important thing, which is in the name, is what that is allowing students to have books on the first day of class. And so it was a lot of work. Ron and Dr. Romero and a whole team of people worked on this really well to implement it. The faculty had to get all of their book orders in early in October, I think. And we did get, I think, 100% of our faculty that were using books in there. So First Day Complete is what is our new bookstore program for students getting books for classes. And I don't know if you want to add anything, Dr. Romero, if I maybe could have answered that a little bit better.
It's all online, am I correct? Or is there an actual physical item?
If a student needs a physical book, then you can also get a physical book, and it depends on what the faculty member chooses. Go ahead, Dr. Romero.
Let me ask Secretary Dominguez first question.
President Edgar, so they're not getting a hard copy, are we selling the software to the student? Or is the
So
software?
it depends, it depends on the course. Some courses do have hard copy books, but a lot of the books are electronic, so it's not software, it's an actual electronic book that they get access to. Some of them use a third party that is like Cengage or another publisher, that in addition to the textbook materials, there's quizzes, there's a study guides, there's a lot of other support, there's activities that go with that, there's discussion boards, and so it depends on the class. And the faculty are the ones that choose. We don't choose what instructional materials, the faculty choose the instructional materials.
The reason for that question is I don't know if it can be implemented, and I don't know, probably Dr. Romero can answer this better. I believe in our mission statement is creating opportunities for you, so if it's the software, I understand that it's electronic. Is there a way to implement a pass the book program, a learning community college from 1 year to the
Just
next,
now,
to sell them at a half price, is that possible that the students can do that? Interactively on their own, but is there a way that, I don't know if the curriculum changes that much, Dr. Romero, to where one book wouldn't satisfy the curriculum for the upcoming year, does that make sense to you? And you hear people say pass the buck, but can you pass the book, or can you sell them at a different price? No, I mean, it's a way to help our culture and our people, I'm with you, it's a way to. Again, create opportunities for you, that's what our mission is, does that make sense? But I don't wanna keep us.
So this is something, this is
Thank you, Madam.
trustee, Dominguez, this is something that historically bookstores has always done, that you can buy used books, you can sell your book back. You can do a lot of different things. I don't know the percentage of our books that actually people get electronically now. It is a lot higher because of the cost of books. Some classes use open source books where there aren't fees as well. And so that is another option that people will use open source books. So Dr. Romero, did you want to add anything?
I'll just say that more than 75% of our course materials are digital. They are not print materials. So the majority of the books that we would have for students that are print are still offered to them at a discounted rate. And to answer your question, Secretary, because we don't have like a book buyback. If a student chooses to keep the print materials and then sell it to their friend, that's totally up to them. They can definitely do that because they're already charged for the book. So they can maintain the print material if they wish. The other thing that I do want to add, that's really important for this is First Aid Complete has been super successful, especially for our dual credit students. We've worked with all of our area high schools where we have an MOU, where we have dual credit students, so those students have their materials first day of class, regardless of whether their faculty is here or not. And because our faculty did such a great job, both full-time and adjunct, and submitted all of their book adoptions in a very short period of time, First Aid Complete has been a huge success. And the costs to the students are roughly about 45% lower than they would if they went to a general bookstore or tried to purchase them online.
So. If I may manage it, Dr. Romero, so the digital format is printed.
It is in certain aspects, so they couldn't necessarily like print a whole book, they could print sections of the book. It's just dependent on the specific publisher and the particular program that the faculty have selected in order for the curriculum to be run for students, so.
And I guess it could be debated whether it's a good thing or not, because if you get a student that's up and coming and they get this critical material, for all the important material is already highlighted, right? And it's kind of a passive class, but they still gotta pass the boards, does that make sense? I mean, you can get stuff that's highlighted material, and it could be good and bad, but that's for you guys to determine whether it's a good thing or bad. So that's just a question on the book part, so.
I have a quick question.
Thank you.
Dr. Merrill, so, when they're able to print sections of it, and they don't get in trouble, or that doesn't get in trouble as far as copyright restrictions?
So no, thank you, Vice Chair Burgos, board members, we have an agreement with the publishers for all of that capability in the digital format. So part of this process with First Aid Complete is not just students saying we have like a virtual bookstore, we have a digital bookstore that gives students materials first day of class. What this partnership is us working with all of the variety of different publishers and vendors that offer course materials for us in order for our faculty to teach their classes. So the publisher that we're working with, which is BNC, which is the Barnes and Noble company, obviously, that does the First Aid Complete program, they work directly with those publishers to give us the capabilities that we need that work best for our students.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah.
And thank you for your answer, Dr. Brown. I apologize. Just that I didn't mean to wish that you would. Vice Chair, apologies.
No, you're good. Thank you.
Madam Chair. I wanted to make a quick comment on everything going virtual. The Bartlett hospitality programs are also registered to the state of New Mexico. They have to put in so many hours in each chapter. Say theory just went up from 1 hour a day to 2 hours a day. So they have to go online. And these scores, they have to read, they have to test, and these scores go on to the state. So those are not on paper. Those would have to do online. And I think the printed materials are pretty much obsolete.
Very funny.
You don't have paper testing anymore. You have to go online, you have to test there, and those scores go into the state. If they don't meet the requirements, then they have to back off and study some more and go back there and test again. Then when they're done with the course and all of the testing, plus all the physical practicals on the floor, which they test on that too. And when they get to state board, then they test on the computer. So it's the same thing in the classroom as it is in the state. So you not only have to satisfy the credit hours for Luna to move up the classes, but you also have to test with the state. And there's not a choice. I mean, you have to do that. And all of it's online. Even practice tests are online now. So there's been a lot of changes. The paper books are gonna go away. They're making it convenient.
And if you're listening to the news this morning, there's a new platform, an AI platform, where if you pay to be part of it, it actually does everything for you. Scary. I wouldn't want that because I like control. Yeah. My car has assisted driving, never use it because I like control. I want to have that steering wheel and I like that safety. Continue.
I don't have anything further than that.
Any other questions?
Question for Dr. Romero, if I may, Dr. Romero, do we have current software on AI?
So we're currently working on that with the faculty senate. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to adopt an AI policy. That's probably gonna be coming to you towards the end of the academic year, but my office is diligently working with the faculty senate to address that. We do have some various AI concerns in the right way and the wrong way to use them in the classroom, and so we need to work through that first before we do something else. But there may be some additional items that are coming in the future, which I don't have full information to just share with the board just yet.
So like turn it in, it's an AI software itself, correct?
Correct, it's a form of,
You're familiar with that, correct?
yes.
Thank you very much for your time, appreciate you.
Thank you, Dr. Next item, share governance report, Crystal Western Board, please. Page 17 for your reference.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I have a, rather long report here, so I'm gonna hit the highlights and summarize.
Appreciate that.
Let's start with Student Senate. So Student Senate, student government met, on January 20th for their first regular meeting for the spring semester. They had a special meeting on February 3rd. We had 4 students from Student Senate attend Luna Day on January 22nd at the legislature. And then we had another 2 for the Secondum Roundtable. And I attended Luna Day as well, and I would just like to add to this and say that having the students there was really brought a positive atmosphere, and their laughter and their smiles and their excitement to just be there really.
And a full lobby.
And a full lobby, yes. Student Senate is planning a little Valentine's activity. They're planning to hand out Valentine's tomorrow, February 11th. As well as planning to have snacks available for home games this semester for baseball and softball. Moving on to Faculty Senate. Faculty Senate had their last regular meeting on January 9th. And as Dr. Romero mentioned, they are currently working on developing an AI policy. They are also working on a dishonesty policy with the ITPE committee. Gene Martinez, as he reported previously, went to Florida in December and took the test to become a certified welding inspector. Kiera reported the assessment committee is working on their procedures manual and close to finalizing it. Staff Senate has worked hard, especially with the extra time and work from Amberlyn Gonzalez to review the tuition waiver policy. And I added special thanks to her for that. We have that completely reviewed, a final version done, and are just waiting for our next shared governance meeting to vote on that. And that was, I will add that this tuition waiver policy was especially viewed as really important to Staff Senate because of its benefit to staff and being able to take classes here and pursue their educational opportunities. So we put a lot of time and effort into that policy. And we are still working to schedule our first fundraiser. We've had a couple blips with that, but we're still working on that. Directors are working to submit their program learning outcomes to curriculum committees. And the nursing business and education PLOAs were approved. And the greenhouse was delivered to the Springer campus back on January 14th. And Sherry Goodyear has been working on getting that up and running, so that's exciting for Springer campus. And shared governance, we had our last regular meeting on January 9th. We are, have been working on the employee handbook and plan to have that to the board at their March meeting. The employee handbook was a 60-page document provided to us by the Human Resources Department for us to review. So that is moving through all the senates, then through shared governance. And I would say, last thing, shared governance is we'll be working on the dress code policy, which keeps getting sort of pushed back due to the other policies that are being put as more priority level. So, I think that's all I have.
Yeah.
Ms. Porter, can I just, I would like to get over
So that's fine.
Ms. Crystal Porter.
Okay.
So I vote for you.
Yes.
Back to your staff center on a tuition waiver policy you're now putting into the faculty senate and being, updating policies for staff senate. You'll be putting that to shared governance. Do you foresee futuristically maybe putting forward, tuition increase? Or is that what you guys are assessing right now? And you'll be bringing that to the board, I'm assuming.
That policy doesn't address tuition increases. That policy is
Waiver part of it.
It's just the waiver part of it for staff to allow them to take classes through Luna, having that tuition waived. And then it specifically addresses like how many hours per week a staff person would be allowed to attend class with the approval of their supervisor.
It's a good thing, right?
We view it as a very good
I think
thing.
it's a good thing. If you work somewhere, you should be able to, somewhat with some education. I would think, I mean, they do it at every other institution.
They do,
Doesn't it also include Highland University?
it does, yes, although off the top of my head, I'm not remembering exactly our rules on the hours required for that. There's a
But it's
policy
in there,
about that.
and it'll be discussed.
Yes.
Other questions?
Sorry, that, I'm sorry.
From Luna,
From Luna, or actually, free tuition.
not necessarily free, I'm not sure exactly what it, I don't think it was free, was it, Dr. Duncan? Tuition to Highland,
We reimburse.
they're reimbursed.
I mean, no, they actually, it might be a waiver. I'm not, I should think, but yeah.
Right,
Yes.
depending on passing, continuing, finishing and passing.
Yes. Yes. Any more?
No, that is it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, I like that snacks for home games, those are for the players,
I
right?
think,
Anytime you give kids food,
they're there.
plus,
It's a win-win.
yes.
Ms. Porter, I also like to,
For sure.
I think it's up, maybe thank you for all the summaries and all the information as to what department is doing what, so that we have this, so that when it comes before us, or it's been to share government, or going to share government. This is a broader, better summary than what was put forth before you agree.
I do agree, I agree, yes,
I think it's awesome. I think now the board has agreed.
yes.
Thank you very much.
And especially also for your work on the meals every week, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It makes me want to go eat some. Then,
Madam Chair,
yes,
I just wanted to apologize to the board.
no problem.
Regarding this,
Everybody has problems like ours.
and to the audience, of course. So I just want to say that,
You're here now, thank you. Okay, and at this point, I would like a motion to do a short recess, maybe, how long is it gonna take us to eat? 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Oh, 20.
Half an hour.
Oh, no. How many?
We're in the field.
Let's go 15.
You have a second in your hand.
Okay.
And
Did you get that, Leslie Ann? And a second?
Okay.
I'll second.
I'll second.
All right. Yes, we do have, you said we have.
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez,
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Luis Portillo.
Yes.
Secretary Mark Dominguez.
Yes.
Trustee Andrea Sandy. Yes. Trustee Richard Behill.
Yes.
Trustee Rolando Medrano.
Yes.
Trustee Rosalie Ortega.
Yes.
Trustee Sandy.
Get your salary skip.
No, I think they're still on Dr. Linder's report. It says that they're still being worked on, or Dr. Shields' report, one of the reports said. So what time do we come back, Leslie, and I'll let you figure out the time.
20 minutes. I would say
15. 15.
11:15.
I made all the rules, just so you guys know.
7:15, no, 20 minutes.
11:15?
Thank you.
For what?
Can I have a motion? Okay, okay,
Second.
and a second,
I'll second it.
and, roll call,
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez.
yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Luis Portillo.
Yes.
Secretary Mark Dominguez,
Yes.
trustee Andrea Sandy,
Yes.
trustee Richard Behill,
Yes.
trustee Rolando Medrano,
Yes.
trustee Rosalie Ortega,
Yes.
And the meeting is back in session at 11:16. Next item is Board of Trustees updates. The executive committee could not provide you a report because we were supposed to have, let me put this phone on. We were supposed to have a meeting after the, what was it, executive session? And it would have taken us into the hours of the morning, so we decided not to have any of that. So, no executive committee meeting. The next one is going to be the, board, the finance committee,
Interesting.
trustee. Let's see, let me find it. Trust, Secretary Dominguez, Chair Dominguez,
Whatever, I'm good.
Rusty.
Trust you. Thank you, Madam Chair, thank you, Vice Chair, colleagues. On February 4th, we convened in the finance chambers and myself, Dr. Phyllis Martinez, our board chair was president, trustee Heath, President Carol Linder, Dr. Darrell Seals, Ms. Luis, C. Baca, and Ms. Jessica Duran. And first and foremost, I would like to thank the finance team for their work and effort to put forth the information, and Ms. Jess, I stopped meeting early and having you run after me to sign the minutes. So having that said, I'm gonna go over my report. So on other updates, we moved the meeting around a little bit. We had some topics that we wanted to discuss and we had some vital requests that I think are pertinent to the day's finances, since we are stewards of taxpayer money. So having that said, I will start my report on other updates and board discretion, along with Dr. Gerald Seals following up or chiming in to where I leave off. So trustee Sandy, Andrea Sandy, requested some information, and I'll get to that. She wanted a salary schedule, job descriptions, and employees and their salaries, and I and the finance team concluded that that was relevant. We did support that. Also, trustee Heath requested a copy of the budget 25-26, capital outlay appropriations and previous, and geo bonds from 7/1/25 to 6/30/26. Do I have that correct? Yes. Trustee Sandy, did I miss on any of that you requested?
I just think you missed the vacant positions.
Did I not? I apologize. On behalf of trustee Sandy, she requested salary schedules. You are right, I apologize. I was going off the manuals and I didn't put that in there. Salary schedule, job description, and vacant positions. And I requested, along with the finance team, a request of all people we currently have on contract. For Luna Community College. Whether it be professional development or any outside entities. I also expressed concern that the institution issued checks in an errors mistake for multiple students and is now requesting repayment. Despite the mistake originating with the finance office, we stated this situation should be identified and correct prior to disbursement of funds, which it was not. I also emphasized that as a community college, and we are a business, that it can be labeled as an expense. The last thing I want to do is, many students are financially vulnerable in situations where we begin their independent livelihood. Share concerns about the potential use of collection agencies to recover funds, knowing that many place undue financial burden on students for their error they did not cause. I ask that we review this particular and see if they're, you know, the accidental check and review their account of this issue. We requested a report on the upcoming time of the success of this issue to further keep up with the issue. I also ask for full transparency with my colleagues and everything that was stated up, and we are a team and matters what will be brought forth to the board. Madam Chair, along with the rest of the board, and the finance team wanted to know about upcoming purchases so that we can be transparent as to what we are purchasing, because we are stewards of taxpayer money. And also, already discussed the request of you, trustee McKee, and right now we are currently tracking. And I don't want to take from Dr. Shields' report, but Jordan has to sign from time to time, so I'm gonna sign today, Dr. Shields. So we are currently on overall revenue, total revenue is 50% tracking, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Shields. We have expenditures at 40%, we're currently resulting in 11.3 million on unspent budget. Expenditure highlights have been put forth for you in your packets. If there's any questions, you can ask me and I'll try and answer them to help Dr. Shields and the finance team to alleviate any of that. We have somewhat approvals of the monies that were invested. They haven't changed too much. Up here today is $390 from the last report, correct, Dr. Shields?
Yeah, there's some change in, adjustment to more or less for the Southwest because of the miscommunication between the college and the bank.
And you're trying to resolve that, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we will be,
Resolved Thursday when they come back out.
and when you get us that, if there's any questions of the board, you will get that back in the finance team so that you're not drilled on that today, because it's not, you're doing, it's the banks who don't want to state that.
That's correct.
You're not putting any emphasis on Dr. Shields and his team, so. Having that said, I believe that I conclude the report. If my colleagues have any questions for me, I'll gladly try and answer. If not, I will refer them to Dr. Shields and throw him under the bus.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Dr. Martinez, trustee Dominguez, secretary Dominguez, thank you for that report, and I looked at my notes, and I'm not saying that your minutes are inaccurate, they probably are accurate, but trustee Sandy, you had asked for a copy of all job descriptions?
Yes.
Okay, that, we have, that, do you want a hard copy of all job descriptions?
Or just a right reference where I can go to you, if there already someone.
They aren't, all job descriptions for all the employees are filed in our shared drive and every employee gets a copy of their job description and signs off on it. And I can definitely provide that, but would be a lot, that would be a ream, over a ream of paper for every single trustee.
So
And I think if you look at the website, you
For the
see-
vacant position, yeah. So it was it for the vacant positions or for all employees?
it was for all, but I will correct myself, if we have just someone, I can go if I have a question about one, if that was.
So I
It
guess
says-
they're not public. Job descriptions are not public. I'm not saying that they can't be, salaries are public. Job descriptions aren't, and I'm not saying the board can't look at the job descriptions. I'm saying to provide you with copies of all the employees' job descriptions would be a challenge. Now, I will talk to our HR director and figure out, and maybe Jeff, and figure out if there's a way that we could have some portal that people could view them, that the trustees could view them. But that is something that right now, well, let me look at it.
So can we get a salary schedule for trustees that?
Yeah, I requested it, and
Yes.
I've requested it.
And the
for-
job descriptions you're saying is to the portal.
lengthy.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out in what manner we would actually get those, because
What
it would
about
be.
just the job?
And
Um,
just so you know.
I-
Sandy,
Well, we have to, so what I understood was the job title, I didn't understand the job description, so that's why I'm trying to get
Yeah,
clarification.
I just,
We want the actual description, yeah.
she asked for the description, so we,
In other words, the jobs that they have to do, that they're responsible for.
Yeah.
Justin Sandy, just so you know, we do govern as an institution and do not need to fill out a get request. I only have to burn in information that you're asking. You do not need to fill out a get request, just so that you know futuristic.
Wouldn't it be day to day for getting the actual job description?
We have a list of all the job descriptions, that's
Yeah,
not a
but-
problem, I'm
But
just
the
trying to
items
figure.
that they're responsible.
I'm trying to disagree, I think if a board member, regardless of new role, I think that if you want what you want,
You
you.
want to know exactly what they're supposed to be doing all day.
Well, I think, and I don't think that's how it can be interpreted, I think if somebody's wanting to see what this title, if somebody's asking, what. You have this opening over here, what do you want, what do they do? And you can give, well, it's on this website, but in a summary, this is part of it, and you can help maybe promote provincial flag and give them an insight into. But, I mean, that's as far as it should go, right? I don't know, it's.
With this,
Trustee Manano?
it seems to me, we have, what do we have, like, over 80,
130.
Almost 200 people.
Almost 200 people.
so, so I can, as a point of clarification to, you know, it's to get or seek that, have that number of job descriptions, you have to either summarize it or.
Assign a person.
Or, because that's a big challenge.
And I'm gonna ask you,
Time,
we're not.
No,
gonna
it's
ask you.
less
Leslie cannot do that.
We're not gonna ask you. I'm just saying,
She
stop.
already works past
But-
5 o'clock.
So maybe a compromise would be any vacant positions, President, or what's your thought?
Vacant positions, the job descriptions are posted,
They're on the website.
they're on the website under employment opportunities. Let me do a little bit more exploration and see what we could get, and then we can get back on.
Perfect, thank you.
Unless we have,
wanted to do was create more work.
yeah.
I just want a point of reference, if say I had a question on a specific position, like, so I can read, what are their jobs? What actually does this person do? Just to familiarize myself with the jobs.
Can I interrupt you? But I just thought maybe that you were asking for, the public asking. Thank you, Madam Chair, thank you, Judge Sandy.
So, trustee Ortega? Chair, trustee Ortega, wait,
I will answer the chair.
go ahead, trustee Ortega.
Yes, Dr. Martinez. Can you clarify how much a trustee can do about, a scenario? If an employee is not doing their job, what can we do about it?
Nothing, we have no authority.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that, because.
The only
I know-
authority and responsibility we have is the board, is the president of the school. We have finance, and we have policy, and we have tuition and fees. Basically, that is our entire responsibility. Yes, finance, yeah.
I think it.
Now, can you tell us why we were in trouble with HED? Before I came in,
HLC.
I'm sorry.
Because,
Somebody asked the question.
there were more instances where there was, board members discussing things that they shouldn't have been discussed.
Allegedly,
Allegedly,
and I'll defend that, because
yes,
somebody asked a question for me. And. For Miss, no, it's no longer here to defend herself. Made a suggestion. And it was taken out of context. And I'll say that wholeheartedly, I'll defend her. Rest her soul, but I
but
was
then,
the one that brought the question to the chair, and the chair got humiliated by my question, and it was a valid point question. Regardless of anybody, how they feel about it, it was a valid question and a valid point, and that's all I'll say. Thank you.
and then we were taken off, oversight or, HLC, non-accreditation, and only the college remained because of the finance.
And assessment.
And
We're
assessment.
not, we're off probation, we have folks.
Right.
But we also have to look at ourselves. You can't place blame on everybody. The board got involved in the day-to-day.
And that's not where I'm going with this. I just want it to be a general description that we have no authority to approach any employee about anything.
Right.
We don't have any powers.
No,
The only thing is we, as the trustee, I go to our president, she goes to the president of the college. That's chain of command protocol.
It was. And one thing I want to say, not to go against vice chair, but we weren't able to defend that.
You're right. No, you're
We're
absolutely
not
right.
able to defend.
You're absolutely correct.
You can be a.
and there was issue with each one of those items.
Yeah.
There was inconsistencies, but we were not allowed to defend ourselves.
A charge in that is a legal accusation, you haven't been convicted, but in this case, we were. It's all the same.
Prior to,
Right.
With that said, the severity of someone overstepping can cause the college a lot of hurt and pain.
true,
And our students suffer too, because a lot of time was taken to investigate where you couldn't even answer to any of the charges. But yet, the college suffered for how many months? 2 years. So my point is, be careful. Be careful. I have to step back. I was very disappointed that we have no power. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
yes, and, what I'm gonna follow up with, there's policy in our board policies. Plus the communication plan that we looked at, reviewed, I'm not sure where it stands in terms of approval or not. There's specifics about employees contacting us cannot happen. We have to ask them if they've gone to their director, to their supervisor, and then to Dr. Lindbergh. So anything else? Then continue,
I just want to say, Madam Chair, adding to that, I think you just said it very, very right, when they come to us with a question, we don't always have our boundaries, that's fine, but not being able to hear someone's comment or question or concern. What you do for it with that, you promise, that's where you are allowed, but don't think you can't listen to a clear concern, and then when you run for office, you're gonna go knock on the door, but you can't go knock on the door, that is just wrong, so that's all I'll say, thank you.
the concerns that we listen to, that we are able to listen to as constituents, and that's as long as we refer them back to Dr. Lindbergh.
Just a quick response to that. The attorney
Trustee Ben?
The attorney did state this morning that we can listen to our constituents, we can, and that we need to direct that to Dr. Ritter, and then she will return. Put it out there for the staff or take care of it, and if we need any type of clarification, we need to go back directly to Dr. Ritter. And not be waiting to this. That's the way.
And that's exactly what I just finished reiterating, plus board policy. Can we go on to board facilities?
Yes, I done my thing on that, Dr. Shields, slam dunk it when he gets up there.
Then,
Thank you, Dr. Shields, for all your hard work.
then facilities committee, chair of the facilities committee, trustee Ortega.
The facilities committee met on February 3rd, those present and myself, trustee Rolando Madrono, trustee. Hold on, it's all right.
Oh, we don't talk about like a chair. I don't have.
Also, Andrea Stanton, trustee was there, Dr. Gerald Leonard was there, Dr. Gerald Shield, I think executive director of finance. CFO Matthew Grego was on Skype, where we on Zoom, and April Sandoval was our recording secretary. So we had some discussions, And one of them was for the upgrades, which are projects here on campus, the cafeteria upgrades and maintenance, interior paint, ceiling repairs by LCC maintenance, progressive 25% complete for cafeteria. Next, CBDC trades, then the smaller roof behind the automotive will be completed by April 2026. HVAC and admin and general studies control was issued for resolve. Honeywell proposed to replace the cafeteria HVAC system by September of 2026. HLC provided Honeywell quote. And I'm sure some of these will be reported by Dr. Dagger on the board. So Allied Health Building renovations, planning phase, the engineer questions on current load and restrooms of ADA access, moving plumbing from ADA access, rendering and concept drill for the simulator lab across from the current lab. 5 unit stations to look like hospital wing for approval to Valerie, Dr. Romero, and Dr. Ledner. Removal of windows on the western wall to install beds, not enough wall space. Redo the floor to run utilities under the flooring. And also go for bids or hire contractor by November 2026. Now, I know the digital site is gonna be brought up later, so I'll skip that. Housing approval for 2.8 million emergency fund set up by Allied Health. Dr. Denner, are you gonna elaborate on those? Okay, I'll go past that. The child care expansion, are you gonna do that?
I need to give an update on that.
Okay. So, our next meeting will be March 3rd. Thank you very much.
March 27th, it says.
March 27th.
What name is it? March 3rd. March 3rd. Oh, completion. It's that child care, yeah.
Right. Okay. Any questions?
No, thank you.
But if you, if they're like, every manager, then.
Yeah.
Or we got each, you know.
The HVAC, they're being addressed. Some of them are in process, some have been completed, others we have applications in for bid.
If we get
No.
a station.
So. You want me to handle that? Thank you. That's a good question.
Only because summer's coming and.
So we do
The
have,
revision,
year out is, still trying to finish up. I think the latest update that I have, I know that Matt had several meetings with them about that project. I don't have an exact finishing date, but they are on the technologies building, and so general studies and administration buildings are done. And that should be, we have that extension until June. So that has to be finished by June. The board approved the Honeywell contract in December. And we did, last week, I did sign the fiscal agent agreement that we needed to do pending that. The capital outlay committee did approve that pending a fiscal agent, and so we do have that, and that project is the one with Honeywell that trustee Ortega mentioned. And that is, as soon as we get that agreement from higher education department, which I sent the fiscal agent agreement last Friday, then we should be able to start and sign that board approved that, to sign that contract with Honeywell. I did also have the attorney look at that, and there were just some.
Well, it's just some clarification, President Linder, what I haven't gotten, or what I haven't heard. We had an extension, but you know, the proof, or the
Yes.
maybe, was there a delay in materials and who's assessing their performance? Well,
That's, so
would
we
you
got.
hire them again? Would you hire them again? Was it cost effective? And what has been your assessment of it, or has anybody done this assessment?
So that is something that actually both, Matt Priego, as the director of facilities, has been looking at that. One of the reasons that we didn't bring year out forward, the next HVAC project, is that we felt like, well, there were a lot of different reasons there. Also, the controls that we were going with Honeywell, that was a better proposal overall. And so for this next project, which was the $1.5 million for the HVAC, we actually went with Honeywell. So we don't know if Honeywell will be better. We hope that they will. We had conversations going back with them back till last May. And so we have done an assessment on that. Year Out actually has been moving forward. There are some challenges with getting the heat finalized in the general studies building. A lot of that, my understanding is that there's just some problems with the way some of these old buildings are. So there was some things like that. So we will get when that project is done. I know that Matt has been doing an assessment and has been working closely with the project manager for Year Out.
And those Honeywell controls, you're integrating stuff that
They have a universal control that we will be
Thank
using.
you.
Those are good questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will, just to clarify, because I know you asked this and I didn't answer it.
That's fine.
For the HVAC, $1.5 million approval that we just got, those monies are set to revert in June, and so we will need an extension. So when we went to the capital outlay hearing, in January, they are aware of that. We just they approved it, they know that we need to get it started. Honeywell thinks that they can finish the project by September. Well, it got delayed a little bit because of the fiscal agent, but we think that they should be able to finish it by August or September. But HED is aware and we will be applying for an extension.
You feel confident that they'll give you that extension or that?
Yes, they indicated that they would. The higher education.
It's not spent, is it going to be looked back to the state?
So the state is looking at all of the money that we haven't spent on all of our projects. But we do, that money that they approved is the amount of the contract with Honeywell, and so they do have to provide invoices and say that is, but if there is money that is left over, we do have to do a drawdown and approve all that, and so there are mechanisms for HEB, and now it's going to be North Central New Mexico Economic Development Division that is our fiscal agent on that.
And it don't matter if we don't have the material in hand, if they didn't place and they didn't purchase, or haven't come in yet. They can still live with an exhausted monitor, how it works every week, so cool, thank you for that.
I understood that we had already gotten an extension up until June 2026.
No, that's the date of the reversion.
Yes. That's the date that it goes back to the state.
If we did get it under contract,
Right.
which we will.
So we haven't yet.
Well, it's February 10th. I'm not, the board already approved that contract. We handled that. I'm confident that we're moving forward on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Board Academic Committee. Committee Chair, Mr. Manano, Trustee Manano.
Madam Chair, Board, and audience, we met on Tuesday, February 3rd of 2026. Members there was, Ms. Ortega, trustee, Ms. Sandy, trustee, and Henrietta Romero, briefly, ISS, Mr. Carol Henry, president, and of course the recorder, Mr. Trujillo. There was a determination of quorum and called the open to order at 1:05 particular day. President was Ortega, Trustee Ortega, Trustee Sandy, Dr. Romero, Dr. Bender, and of course myself and admin, Mr. Trujillo. The agenda was submitted, was approved by made a motion by Trustee Sandy, motion to approve the agenda, seconded by Trustee Ortega. Motion was passed. Minutes approved for the minutes approved for the January 6th of 26th. Wednesday was that Trustee Ortega made a motion to approve the minutes. And second by Trustee Sandy Andrea Sandy. Next item in the agenda that we had that day was the VP of Instruction and Student Services, Dr. Romero. She talked about the spring of 2026 enrollment. We're excited. Spring enrollment report was provided by LCC and a trending upward of 3%. not much, but significant. The goal was to hit 225, and that goal was met, and it's currently at 730, was that 730? Some of the issues we discussed were enrollment continues, so she discussed, continues to increase for the second 8-week courses as enrollments continue. The LCC is up 6% compared to the fall of 2025, that's great exciting news, 2025 semester. Enrollment by district was reported as well. Next time was academic calendar recommendations for approval, review of the new academic calendar to be proposed for approval at the next Board of Trustees monthly meeting for summer 2026 and summer 2027, which is a 3-year academic calendar that will be coming soon. Dr. Romero, that's gonna be coming in today, okay, will be presented today. Just wanted to clarify that. The next item that we discussed was the FIPS grant. We can, the BPISS, that's the report that the institution did not receive it. We're a little, because of the time frame. It was noted the application was submitted within a very limited time frame, and due to the low score received, the grant was not awarded. But we talked about submitting it next year. That's right, Dr. Cruz?
When before it comes back, we're not sure, it'll be next year.
Or when it comes up. The next item was the personal updates. There was it was brought to our attention that there's 8 candidates that have applied for admissions manager position. A committee has been established with a target to hire by the end of February 2026 this year. You know, we're still in track, Dr. Linder or Dr. Romero?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Financial aid, 8 daily training for inner sessions, the students remains ongoing the team experience with financial aid and the team services division continues to be a focus, and I think that's exciting news because it's local, we here within the school campus. Another item that we discussed on under student services, or she did, remember, in academic updates. Our student services team and other areas continue to work diligently to increase enrollment for spring of 2026. Last day to add for a full session of first 8-week courses on January 20th, which is already expired, of course. Business Department Management Certificate Program at the Guadalupe Correctional Facility in March 26th, Trustee Ortega requested an update for the next meeting on where the equipment is and from the bar brief program that used to be facility. Dr. Romero indicated that she will reach out to the point of contact to have an update at the March 2026 meeting, so I'm sure that's ongoing. Romero also reported that she is working on the Allied Public Service Department for the potential to offer an AA human services degree, which will help with the shortage of social workers in the area. Students will be able to transfer to various Bachelor of Social Work programs across the state to include the BSW order offered at MHU. Did I miss anything on that one?
No, Mr. Chair.
Next time we're other updates. The other announcements were the announcements of the date, time, and the location of the next academic meeting, which was Tuesday, March 3rd, 1 p.m. Executive conference. Is that correct? With that, we adjourn, and there's any questions from the audience or from the board?
I have a question. The FIPSC grant, that was the one Dr. Salazar was receiving, correct? So it was submitted, but it was very low score. So Dr. Thompson didn't work on that.
Dr. Martinez, Dr. Thompson, and actually a large team of people here worked with Dr. Salazar
Okay.
on that. And it was the one that was really short turnaround. And I do think that there are opportunities to take the idea forward on other projects with that, but it was not. If they had a different review process as well, It didn't go out to committee normally, how previously when grants got submitted to the Department of Education, they would go out to a peer committee. That's not what happened. It was basically the program officer made those grades.
Thank you. Any other questions on the committee report? Then if you would continue, Dr. Linder, with your report. I wanted to know if you would like to have questions for your weekly report at the beginning or at the end, because I noticed they're not really incorporated into your report, your regular report. This happened after the fact.
So, I'm happy to, maybe it's better for me to just give my regular
Okay.
report and then handle it, because
All right.
we mailed the board packet last Wednesday, so
Right.
I did this report based on what I had submitted the week before from the week
That was
before.
Sunday night.
And then this was late Sunday night after the Super Bowl.
I actually opened it up at 1:30 in the morning.
You did?
But I did not, I don't know.
I was gonna do a schedule set, but I can't.
No, I have a notification on my phone.
I didn't mean to,
No problem.
I didn't mean to wake you up. So my board report starts on, page 19. And then I'm happy to take any questions, and there are some follow-up, and so there are some things that are evolving things. I wanna give
And I just would like to ask for a summary. because
I'll try to
hopefully
give
everybody has read this all.
So I just want to give just a highlight a few things. And one thing that was really, really nice about the LFC presentation that they gave us, that they put out with their recommendation, is that they actually give performance data. And they always look at where schools are 5 years ago to today. And again, when we're thinking about it, if we think about what's happened in Las Vegas 5 years ago, we've had not only COVID, but the fires and the floods, right?
And the water issue.
And the water issue. So anyway, I do want to say that our award is up 49%. And that's really significant. That's a wonderful thing. The other thing that we've been challenged with is because our enrollment is low, our cost per award has been high. And that did go down significantly. It's still pretty high, but that number went down from 97 to 84.6. I have shared several times the budgetary, the priorities. We are now less than how many more days, after today is Tuesday. 8 more days after today, left of the legislative session, and I know that the HB2 has been introduced on the Senate floor. I do have a little bit of update on some of these things. Thank you, Trustee Ortega, about letting me talk about the childcare playground. This is something that the Higher Education Department put out a call last September and asked us when the governor had put out her universal childcare in the state. They really wanted to support an expansion of all childcare in the state, and so they asked all the schools to put forward proposals to expand childcare. And we put in actually, I think, $1.7 million request, and the recommendation from the Higher Education Department was to fund us for this 1,024,200, whatever that is. I don't, whatever, you can see that, the 1024064, however you say that, right? Anyway, that funding is not currently in the HB2. That funding is not in the HB2, so that is something that the governor has been concerned about, is that they haven't included that. The LFC did not include that. So we did at our budget meeting last week, and when we talked with Dr. Romero and with Tyson and looking at it, we still want to expand and add infants and toddlers. Right now, we do 5-year-olds. What we're looking at, we are getting more money. We're looking to see, can we actually afford to do those renovations even without that funding, with using some of the money that we're getting from the childcare. So I'm not happy about that. I would like to get that money, but we are committed to adding infants and toddlers and trying to expand how many students that we're taking in that. I don't think that the non-recurring requests for the FY26 that we had are also, Tanya's still working on legislators to talk to them about that, but that also was not in the LFC recommendation. And then we've got these other outlay requests, and I think those were introduced, yes, what's today, Tuesday, Monday, those were introduced over the weekend. And so we're still looking at some of those requests. And just a short update on, Senator Compost did put together a bill. We did put in a request for, the athletic facility. Separately from that, Senator Compost did put in a $3 million request for the softball.
I thought it was 5 million.
No, he did 5. Ours was 3,
Right.
5.
So
His
this
was 5,
One
well, number 94.
Yes.
So thank you for that clarification. So $5 million, and that did come, it did get passed out of the Senate Education Committee, and it will be heard on the Senate Finance Committee. So we don't have an update on that, completely. We still chest funding. That is still, I'll have an update on that a little bit. That is still being included in the HB2 funding package. And so we're hopeful that that money will come forward. It's very, very encouraging. Last year, they funded us for $6 million. And this year, they're really talking about funding us for 24.364. So that's huge.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing, and a lot of people have worked on that. I'm just gonna skip housing for a second.
Let me ask one question on that. So the audit completion will not be funded.
I don't know for 100% sure, but at this moment, it is not an HB2. So I have Tanya still working on that a little bit, but we should know trustee Villa will know it a little bit more what we're doing. But right now, the LFC did not put it in their recommendation. Okay, so that's kind of what I know. And if I find out anything else, I'll definitely give an update in my weekly report and also let Dr. Martinez know as well. We do have, I just want to say that we did have United World College students that were here. We've had a lot of articles. It was a great article about athletics.
We're skipping,
Well, I'm gonna come back to housing.
yes,
I'm gonna come back to housing.
and we're gonna go into 4.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna just go to 5. I mentioned that. There were some great articles, out, about athletics. And then there was our stories that I had said before about the swearing in and different things like that. We did kick off both the baseball and softball teams on away games. And there are games coming up. They're on my calendar, but I can't remember exactly when they are. What? I'm going to, at one date, I have to start practicing again. I have to go in and start practicing if I'm gonna throw out the pitch.
That's it.
So, anyway,
I didn't hear before, Diane and Lisa and I.
you did,
Well,
yeah.
We kept the
Oh,
three.
yeah, you guys can practice,
Oh, my
yeah.
God, I was so embarrassed.
So Matt Diego did provide a really comprehensive report that starts on page 24 about facilities. I won't go through that. I think that I covered also everything that, there is an update in there, and we had talked about it a little bit in the facilities. Thank you, trustee Ortega, about the Allied Health building renovation and some of the other projects there. And our government relations, community relations did give an update. And I think that I think she did a great job. Everybody did love the giveaways, and there was a person that said that they were getting sick. I can't remember what, Linda Trujillo, was that her name?
Yeah.
And she
Or
was
Linda Lopez.
one of them. Anyway, she said that she was getting sick and she had the soup and she loved the soup. So I don't know if I passed that on or Christina's passed it on.
I had.
Did you
I
have
heard
your
something with the soup and also I had the vitamin C. I didn't get.
the emergency?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because you guys got those packets as well.
That's
So-
right.
So, anyway, so I think that those are good reviews of all of that. There's a lot of stuff happening in IT, there's a lot of stuff happening in every area, I would say. I'm really impressed when all the directors get up in their directors meeting and give me all their updates, and I think that there's a lot of positive things happening. Going back to the housing. And again, I do have an update on the housing, and so last week we had a meeting on February 4th where I shared the timeline. I went over sort of where we are. This report that was written in this packet right here actually was also written before I did the update last February 4th, so that's why I sort of skipped it. So it's a little bit out of line, so you were given the timeline, that's an internal timeline. What I did provide with to you on my weekly report is that we also provided information to Connor Jorgensen, who's the principal analyst. He was requesting information as well, and so I shared that in my weekly report. We did get, and Justin's here, if we have any questions, if he can back me up, we've been working with two main general contractors, AK Sales and Bradbury and Stam. And we also then have been talking to Decker Architecture, and we received a quote from them. I put that in my weekly report. And we have a meeting this afternoon, but we do believe that what they laid out in terms of all the stuff they're gonna do to make sure we have everything completely set with that, with the site prep, that we're not gonna have any delays, that we really have it all laid out. We believe that we need to do all this contract. They are on CES. We just got this quote last Friday, or
Friday at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock on Friday. And so we are having a meeting this afternoon to look at that. They are on CES. The board does not have to approve us to go forward with that, but I do have a copy of it. I'd be happy to answer any questions about that. And, but we do feel in terms of the timeline that, and we definitely want to do things right. I think trustee Dominici mentioned this last week. Yeah, in the meeting, we want to make sure that we've done everything right with the site prep, with the permits, with the utilities and everything. And so we're confident. We've worked with Decker before, and we're confident in their work. And I mentioned last week that we had conversations. I did talk to the owner at Bradbury Stam, and I did talk to Charlie Carroll from New Mexico Junior College. And this was the recommendation that they also went with. So we are trying to move forward with that. We did get some additional costs on our timeline, our internal timeline for the operational costs. We are talking about that again this afternoon, but we did learn that it's going to be another $95,000 a year in insurance. So that is more than we thought it was going to be, but it is what it is. So,
I have one,
yes.
page 21, you said. That I recommend leadership, so I think it's a judge, but I never recommend it. Without, it's not
Okay,
my order,
sorry, we could. Well.
strike it out
Strike it out,
and
okay,
replace with suggestion.
okay. I can do that. Where is it exactly?
Page 21. In the second to the last bullet. On North Star.
I meant suggest. You're right, I'll correct, that. That's not, you did not recommend, you suggested, I agree with you, that's my error. We'll fix that. And, so, any questions about where we stand with the housing?
Thank you. Originally, in your last meeting, and I'm not gonna hold you to this, that's when you stated that possibly you didn't know for sure if a foundation was gonna be installed when the initial proposal to the board was with the foundation. Where are we at in terms of your finalizing and still going through the procedural process of it? What was recommended by either your team or your advocate for?
Thank you,
I just want to clarify for the board because
yeah.
one thing was said and then another thing was said at the last meeting,
So what I clarified last week, this is one of the things that I said that we were looking at and trying to get updates. I did provide this drawing on last week about the foundation. We will be talking to Decker and talking to them, but this was the recommendation from Palomar of the foundations to use. And so at this moment, this is what we're planning on going with, and this has been provided to Bradbury Stam as well, and so we will be, that's what, I did provide this in the packet last week.
I do have that,
Yeah.
President Ender, and for the record, the monitors were allocated with the foundation, correct? That was supposed to.
So what we did was we actually got a quote from a local contractor when we were putting together the emergency application. And what they talked about was putting a concrete pad, but we didn't have all the information from Palomar. And so this is something. They did include putting in structural anchors. These would be anchored. These are going to be anchored. The foundation that they're recommending, right, Justin? They are anchored. They are anchored. So I do believe that trustee Sandy was correct, that our local contractor who actually provided that with very short timeline and not a full analysis. What we were trying to get more information about that, so,
The local contractor did have that pretty detailed. You
no,
give that.
they gave us an overall quote to include the concrete and.
There's no contractor that can give an assessment, what he thinks, because he's not an architect or engineer, he's simply the hands on the ground.
We were given an estimate, not a quote.
Okay.
Everything that we've been doing has right now, we've been dealing with estimates based on the information. The other thing, just to clarify, is that when we came back and we pulled everything together, we had identified 3 different locations on campus that we could potentially have housing. And one of the things that we've been doing in the last several weeks, and I gave an update about that, is really identifying that this section by Allied Health is really the best location in terms of utilities. We had the city come out, we had, the city utilities came out, they looked at it. We have talked to PNM, we have looked at it, but this is why we want, and I think that Decker we've given all that information to Decker, they've included that. Justin, is that correct?
Yes, they're gonna provide a full assessment, basically to create the whole blueprint for the project to give to the general contractor to complete the job, but everything with utilities, with civil engineering, everything's gonna be covered in this Decker contract. So there won't be any surprises later on in the middle or towards the end of the project. All of this will be addressed immediately in the beginning.
And just to remind you that when we started this and first started looking at it, we were also thinking FEMA trailers and just placing them and them being completely self-sufficient and not even having them hooked up. You know, so this has been an evolving situation. And I think that it really, we're trying to do the best that we can based on all the information, but we wanna make sure that we have gathered as much information. Justin's really reached out and tried to get as many different quotes as we can from contractors. We did that last fall. We still have some that we explored last week about some other options for housing. And people that have suggested that we go with manufactured homes, that would be much, much more expensive to have individual manufactured homes, 12 units. We don't have the footprint for that. We still have to go to the higher education department. We still have a lot of challenges. And we have the money. We have the money.
Actually, only if we use it, we have to do. It's there, but only reimbursable.
Reimbursable, and yes, reimbursable.
So on this list that you have provided us for the exclusions from Palomar, they're still intact or have we added more?
Though that was the original spec sheet that Palomar has, yes.
So there has to be an additional, okay, so we're going with what they said we have to do, which is all utilities, accessibility, great water, foundations, that are, yes, okay, yes. Thank you,
Yes, thank you.
Do you have any idea, date frames, what's our time frame for getting down to the engineers, architects?
So we actually, we're meeting this afternoon. I wanted to talk to the board and I wanted to make sure we've answered any questions that you have. But we have a meeting this afternoon and we want to get a purchase order and get the architect started.
The paperwork from Decker has in mind the August 1st deadline for us. I mean, that's what we have in mind for this project, so.
That they understand that we have to be completely done with the project by August
Yes,
1st.
that's one of their first considerations and with this, so that's why we're having all the reports and contracts done that way.
Trustee,
Trustee Sanders, you have a question? No, I'm sorry. Sure. President Ender, what's the time frame for this architect? The proposal was done today or tomorrow? They're probably about 3 weeks out.
I'm not too sure when they can start, but like I said, they know our timeline. If we sign the contract by the end of this week,
No, today.
I can get, hopefully today, I can get a solid start date on
And
that.
then we'll probably have some influx. On a need basis, right? That's a guarantee.
Change orders.
Well, not so much change orders, but just the necessity and the urgency is gonna accumulate some extra charges, I'm assuming, and that's a normality in business, right? Or
Right.
that's what it's
We're
become.
gonna try to foresee as much, that's why we wanna go with them, so they can find out a lot of what we need to do as far as finding out efficiencies in the site, that they can,
Yeah, I'm not trying
set
to
us up with.
perception out there, I'm just stating that. Yeah.
121,703.
Dr. Richard, will you tell us where you put the timeline? I know you gave us a timeline.
Okay, sorry, yes, and so it's in here, and I didn't give you a new, but it is in on this memo from last week. That is very beginning of this, it's on the second page of last week. And I'm pretty sure that I did that as well, last Wednesday's meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, we have, one of the reasons that we did talk to, go down to look at JAL, go to look at this. We really are trying to anticipate everything and ask all those questions to make sure we get it in the contract, so. And the other thing is that I've talked to the attorney and he wants to make sure that he looks at any contract that we would sign with CES. In terms of anything that we're looking at, and so, that is something that we need to do.
Plus, there's also a charge that CES levies.
Yes, 1.25,
Yes,
1.25.
for the use of their, did you want me to ask?
Yes, thank you.
Is there anything else that you need to go?
No.
Okay. It says on the email, student housing update with one attachment. I didn't receive any attachment. I got 5 pages, it's all.
Okay, hold on. Right here. I attached I did attach something on the report, but where are you saying? Show me.
It says, oh, on
In
her,
my email, okay,
on her report. On her last week's report.
I included the Connor Jorgensen.
Okay, so that's part of the report. That shouldn't have been attachment.
No,
Okay.
Connor Jorgensen, I did attach, I'm pretty sure I attached this letter.
You didn't?
Okay, so I meant to attach it.
So maybe you can follow up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have one more question. When you go out for bid, where do you advertise?
We're not going out for bid, we're going through CES.
Chair, President, can you explain, if you know, or not, or you, like, when you have a CES vendor, you do not, they've already put all the parameters in place and costs. For it, they cannot over exceed any of those costs, so they don't have to go out to bid. If they were getting a big price quote, would be under 20,000, after that, it would be an RFP up to 60,000. And then, but CES contractors, they already said, so I believe it's either 1.25 but. And the rate of the total amounts that they get, when they use the artist lanes or the Gideon group, I believe it's called. There are two softwares that are purchased, that are about $4,800 a year. That they each use, and that's full for every project that's concrete to walls to fencing to everything. So I hope that helped you, right?
And it's a state agency that compiles information from contractors. They have this whole huge process that they have to go through to be able to become a CES vendor, so they don't have to go through bids. They pretty much give the amount that they're gonna charge, and that's it.
It's a way for our project managers to not do any legwork, but then you just call somebody and they do it.
And it's a shortcut.
Exactly.
In cases like this,
Anybody.
if you have to go through bids, that would be another 60 days at least for the RFP and publication and everything else. Okay, let's see, what else did I have? Pardon?
Does that help you, President?
Go ahead. Okay, Kate,
Yes,
current vacancy, so you're re-advertising for Dr. Shields' position.
That's it, Dr. Shields,
Is on loan
he's on loan. But
until April.
I potentially.
March 31st.
Oh, March 31st.
March 31st, and so we advertised that position on, in December. And we want to fill a position permanently, and we definitely have appreciated all the help that Dr. Shields has given us. And he, depending on whether we fill that position or not, he might be with us a little bit longer. We need to see that, so that's what we're looking at.
Okay, and page 4, it says March 17th, special board meeting, and this is just notice to the board.
Oh, thank you for bringing this up, because I wanted to talk about this a
Yes.
little bit, thank you.
So that plus the last page, the audit, 50% of the amount of money that we had approved has already been paid, spent, well, paid to them.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Go ahead about March 17th.
Okay, so at the last week, Wednesday, I wasn't looking at the calendar when we said, trustee Ortega and Madrona, when you said we would be back and we could meet on the 12th. We're actually on spring recess on that day, and so what I'm proposing is that we would meet that next Tuesday for a special board meeting. Now, I don't know if the board wants to consider that to be a special board meeting, or if you want to consider moving the regular board meeting to that date.
We can't move board meetings, they're set in policy, but we can have a special board meeting.
So that's what I'm suggesting right there. The other thing is that Leslie and I have been looking at different options for retreats, for a board retreat. And,
we would, yeah. Hey, when you guys are talking, but it does.
Yeah, we make it a point to stop our meeting.
So, go ahead, Dr. Linder.
okay, so on the timeline that I gave on this timeline last week, one of the things that I talked about, because obviously standing up housing operations and dining services operations will be an important thing for everybody at the board to understand what those costs are gonna look like. So I have put on my timeline a potential date of March 31st for the work session for the FY 27 budget. My question is, and then you've requested that we look at a board retreat.
Right.
And when we spoke last week and thinking about everybody's schedule and the spring recess and HLC and everything going on, it wasn't clear to me whether you wanted me to try to get a board retreat. My understanding was that originally the idea was to have a board retreat by March 12th, but then we thought we couldn't do that given all the other time. So I am wondering if the board is interested in trying to combine a work session, having or have it as a separate thing, have the budget work session as part of the board retreat. And if that is what you, or because we, in addition to that training or not. If we're not gonna do that, then the question is that we're already, March and April are pretty full months for a lot of the things going on. In terms of the finishing the budget and doing different things. And so Leslie and I did call around, we checked on some different things. Could we have a retreat in this area where you're still able to get away? But the people that would like, if we're gonna have a board work session that Dr. Shields was at, and Sharice and the academic, you know, the VPs are there, that we would be staying at that location. So we looked at, Leaping Deer Ranch, we reached out to Blame Her Ranch, where I looked this morning, I haven't reached out to Collins Ranch, also, they have yurts. I don't know if you wanna stay in the yurt, but
You haven't seen it.
they're supposed to be, are they good or not? Okay, well, I haven't been there.
What is that?
Where is this?
You're
Collins Ranch.
Collins Lake,
Collins Lake.
above my.
So the Leaping Deer are two locations. The other option is to try to look, and so it wasn't clear to me whether you wanted to stay one night, 2 nights. But what I was looking at was, do you want to have a 2-day retreat? what are you looking at? And so if we're gonna schedule that, we can talk about it at another time, but if we're gonna wait until the next committee meetings, then it's a little bit late for planning.
I defer to the board members, Madam Chair, if I may, I would mind having I have requested it before to have a 2-day retreat, I wanna have a session, so have a retreat. That's my opinion. I'd like to have a
I
separate.
agree. Don't worry about
I-
it. Change or retreat.
A retreat.
Talk to a doctor, talk to somebody come in and do a training. Don't want to assist but this board has not done anything in how long? 4 years?
Since Dr. Prather,
He was the best. I wish we could get him back. Any board members would like him, they would like.
There was a lot of information in those 2 days, and I think board members.
and we also have the,
For us.
Training.
we also have the SFC, wasn't it? Mark, Mullins. He came from the SFC to do the, finance training as well.
What is the board members want? Hawaii? Oh, you do.
Hawaii,
Hawaii.
You want,
Hawaii?
you want to get put on this oversight.
Like Hawaii.
No casinos either. Don't say that any casino.
Can I get an explanation as to what you're talking about when you say work session and then retreat? What's the difference?
Who can,
I can try.
give her that?
If I may, Madam Chair, trustee Sandy, so a work session is. We have ties to the institution, everything ties back to the institution, correct? But it's the institution giving a work session, of their finance, something of some sort from the institution support. And then when a retreat is we have an outside source. Doctor, team building skills, communication, better board practices, stuff of that nature. Does that kind of help your?
It works for sure with involved.
Doesn't help all the others.
The work session.
The retreat, we're not involved in it.
So thank you for that clarification, because what I had understood last week is that you were asking for trainings for training, that the retreat was for training. So if that's not what that is, then
I had
that's.
asked the two new members last week what they wanted to, as a secretary of the board, I had asked the two new members, what trainings they wanted, so I could try
Right.
and accommodate them. And I had offered maybe an open meetings act and then we do it as a whole. But I haven't spoken to trustee Sandy and I haven't spoken to trustee Heathen, I'm not gonna speak for them as well, so.
Dr. Linder, we all got the updated chest training, and we got the, IFRA, and we got.
Oh, and then-
Everything, yeah, but these new, trustees have not, and that's what we're saying, they don't.
But we don't need to be involved in
We
that.
don't need, no, but we're just saying that training was, but like last year, we had, it was a very, very good.
Yeah, and trustee Montgomery were involved in that whole May. And the attorney.
So is there a date proposed that you're suggesting for your retreat? So this would help Leslie and I organize this weekend.
I was thinking possibly April, maybe June. Well, I was hoping April. Sorry, if that's too soon. Have you guys been? I was asking for the spring.
You can clarify your question as to the work session and the retreat. You. Yes, thank you, very true.
What are you guys looking at?
I'm not really,
The next,
I just want to.
I'm not looking either.
No,
not maybe April. I know the last time we had it was in June, I believe. Wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Secretary.
is it right up there? I'm sorry.
We had the last retreat in June, was it June?
I don't remember what that was. It was the items. It's not the items. It's not the items.
Well, that's was the request. So the question is, so I did look at some areas here. But it sounds like, I appreciate all the clarification. It sounds like this isn't something that you want there's not gonna be any interaction with anybody that is from Luna. So you can have it wherever you wanna have it. And if it's a 2-day retreat, do you wanna stay 2 nights? Do you wanna stay 1 night?
June 30th. Okay. Dr. Brady.
Probably.
So and then do you want to try to go? There are, so for instance, the Lake Ranch does have, it was $7,500. And they have rooms, they have beautiful rooms that everybody can stay right out there, and it's beautiful. I don't know if you've been out there, but,
Where's it at?
it's in,
Well, it's always red.
there's always. And so they have the location, they have a big room that is a common room, and then they have individual rooms that actually, that board members could each have a room that their spouse could stay at if you wanted. It's beautiful. And I think that it is a really great escape. You set up food, you would do that, or you could go and be in Albuquerque or Santa Fe at a hotel.
Weren't you suggesting they're carried to Lucas?
It's out there because it's away from here, it's away from Highland. People can, at the end of the day, can go with their loved ones to go with whatever they want to do. I'm just saying that was just one opinion, but the concrete's very nice at that house that you just said.
Did you pour it?
I did, yeah. I did.
I would just wanna say for me, I think April would be better than the summertime.
What's your input as far as where?
I don't know, honestly, it doesn't much for April.
I like April,
Yeah.
the weekend, I'm sorry, April would be fine with that.
I'm open to any dates that you guys want. I'm
Let's
just,
see what April looks like.
Could we do like possibly like later April, for that is everybody's gonna
I'm fine.
open or.
I think we should do team building and go skydiving.
I think people can meet, so,
Got it? You go first.
just before the summer starts, before graduations are here, you know, stuff like that.
Right now, I should just manage to possibly do that.
Thank you.
That's not my name.
So it's not.
So I'm not gonna be there, right? This is a board retreat. Am I there or am I not there?
I think with, when we had in the past, we didn't have, did we have the president?
I don't, know.
Oh,
It's been so long. Just wanna-
2021, yeah, he would have been, probably be there.
When he got the credit was there, it was good.
It's very good. And so was that.
Yeah.
Well, we're all right. And then Rick and I were received separate, those, it'd be separate.
So I will look at some dates, but is there do you wanna try to do it during the week? Do you wanna try to do it during the weekend?
No, it has to be during the week.
The week of
Tuesdays
April
like
20th,
our regular meeting.
the week of April 20th?
I have a business, so I am from here.
Oh,
Probably do Thursday, Friday, but Friday, Saturday, Thursday.
Friday and Saturday? Yes, you would.
No, not Saturday.
No, yes.
No,
What?
because. Not Saturday. Those are our days. I mean, your days are all week.
Fridays are always every week.
I know.
Work too.
How about Thursday and a Friday? That way we can meet.
I'm open to.
So you said the 20th?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm going to see, yeah, just, I have actually, a chess board meeting on Friday, so.
Very open.
Thanks on the tour, but I actually missed it at work. The 30th and the 1st,
That's okay.
May 30th and April 30th and May 1st.
Graduation.
Graduation's the next week. May 9th.
Never graduate.
Okay.
So tentative,
Yeah, tentative, the 30th and the 1st,
yeah.
board retreat, right?
Right.
That makes a comment.
Yeah.
I'm open to any location you wanna go, I'm not familiar with any retreats, I've never been on one. Hotel 6 was the last retreat I had.
Down the light on.
That's a joke, I know, I've never been on a retreat, I've never been to Gonzales Ranch. or even the one that you're talking about. So I'm all with whatever the board, the majority wants, I, good. I wanted to, clarify, Dr. Leonard, on that special meeting for the 12th, are we not gonna have that now?
We're having it on the 17th.
17th.
Oh.
But we're having our regular meeting on the 10th, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have a special meeting on the 17th, on Fat Tuesday. The special meeting.
So March there, we have a meeting with
March 17th. So they're getting the clause. But
And I'm still proposing the board budget work session on March 31st.
Yeah.
March 31st? Oh,
March
March
31st. Budget work session.
Budget work.
And would that be here, Dr. Williams?
This is for you to understand, 10 o'clock, this is for you to understand the budget before you have to approve it.
And it will be finished.
Last year, no, it will not be finished, it will not be finished by March 31st.
So we're not approving that.
It's not, it's only to go over for the new board members now. These are the exhibits, this is what we're thinking. If you have recommendations, it will not be done on March 31st.
Not until May.
No, it has, we have, our goal right now is to approve it at the April regular meeting,
Okay,
but that's our goal. And so hopefully, I talked to Dr. Shields about that, we're working on that, but it has to be approved before May 1st.
So the national president's 10 on as well, this clarification.
Yes.
anything else? Any other questions for Dr. Ledger on the report? Finish mine. Then we have the next item, which will be discussion action LED sign on Luna Tower.
So you have a memo on page 27. And this is so at the
28.
well, okay, my bad, whatever, wherever it says memorandum, yeah. Anyway. So we did get this quote. And this was talked about at facilities. And we looked at this virtual digital sign on the tower. The advantage of the tower is that it already has the electricity, it has the wiring, it'll be easy for the internet. And so that it is, if you think about the size of it, the size of the tower is 14.5 feet wide. This would be about 13 feet. So it would be almost that entire width of that in that size. And these are these panels like what we have in the LRC, that when one of them goes out, you just replace one little panel. And it's outdoor, we talked about putting a protective cover, it can be, we talked about a lot of different things with that. It is the brightness. And it's waterproof. There is a network that would connect to our network. It does comply with all of the OSHA standards. Matt put together a really pretty comprehensive background for this. I know that there were questions at the last meeting about what the size of the lettering would be, could it be red? We talked about that at facilities, the feeling was absolutely that you could see it from the road. I don't know that it's gonna be as visible as the love sign. So.
President, you're saying protective coating because of the sun, the way it wraps up, it's gonna be on this south side.
It's gonna be, so where on the north side, that there would be making sure that that it would be protected on that side, but it is
On the north side of it.
Right on.
You're right. You're right, the way you're looking, the way it's right there. But you're saying it's gonna be on the north side of that.
well, the whole thing is waterproof. The whole thing is waterproof. But what was your question?
Because of the sun, you said that you were gonna make it.
The glare,
Protected.
you're talking about the
Glare,
glare.
no, not so much that. The sun tends to beat off the sign
Oh. New Mexico Sun.
You said something about protected.
Dr. Dillard, you know,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So we talked about, just like doing is on the building itself, like building up out. Where it would sit in, the other question is to allow that thing to kind of move this way. So that it catches more of the people coming, or, you know, kind of to be able to adjust it, but it's also protecting it from the sides. There's, whether, you know, sort of that. The other thing I want to stress is that I know a police is just checking for us, but those big screens are made up of separate little, like lights or modules. So that was one of our questions. If it were to get damaged, you have to replace those. You said no, you just replace the wires. So that's the cheap.
And maybe to make sure that there's extra monitors, get a few extra modules.
Yes, that's what we.
Before they change or update, because you know how the computers are, you're driving home and they're taking down the computer you have and putting up the filter, right? So.
And we don't necessarily know that it needs to have that protection, but it's something we talked about just to add that added protection. Yeah.
It's, I mean, I give you the hard.
The only question I have is, it's got a warranty for 1 year, optional extended maintenance and support agreements. Would we be able to go in or?
And I think that I did have that question as well, and I was trying to see if Matt could join us today, but I do think that we should look at. These are screens that we have in other parts of the building, but I think we should look at an extended warranty, especially if that's outside, so.
And it's not gonna be as big as the alarm, that it's gonna be bigger than.
That's saying that's 6 years ago.
It's gonna be big, but I'm not saying that it's not gonna be as big as the love sign, I'm just saying I'm not going to say is it gonna be as visible, because that love sign, you see that red,
And it's only got 4 letters.
and it's only got 4 letters.
Fine.
Yeah, so that, when I see that, that's like the beacon for me to go home.
And then on the outside, there's the lantern.
Yeah, I just think I can follow it to get home to the golf course, because it's right past the golf course.
And on here, this is have a date. If we were to approve it, when would we?
They're ready to install it.
Anytime.
I will say that when I talked to Matt, this is something, I don't know, when we ordered it, there is a little bit of a,
Yeah.
I don't know the timing, but
Okay.
if we approved it, then we would be
They
ready
may
to
have
order
to
it.
come from China.
It might, it might be coming from China, so,
Okay, so you would want the motion?
yes, that's what I'm requesting.
Okay, okay. Who would like to make a motion? Go ahead,
So move, Madam Chair.
okay. Let me go through it. Request motion to approve virtual wall installation project for radio wall purchase and installation.
Okay, so.
Yes.
Don't forget we need to approve the building of
So I think if we do that, then, I mean, do you wanna make that part of that?
Just so that we're aware, so that we're not saying, oh, this is just clean up now, it's not a change order, so I think it should be, isn't it?
I'm not sure that the company would actually build
No,
that.
it's gonna have to go up first.
So like a shade above it.
It's just a protector, a little, but the side's gonna be inset, and that's gonna protrude out, just protect it.
Yeah, like a piece of whatever, broke down around it or whatever. Okay, so what do you want to call it?
I don't have to quote that yet. I was gonna work on getting quotes.
So
This,
can we just make the motion for the sign and then, yes, and then afterwards we would have some more information. Okay, so I would entertain, the motion is made. Yes. And roll call it.
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Louise Portillo.
Yes.
Secretary Mark Dominguez,
Yes.
trustee Andrea Sandy,
Yes.
trustee Richard B. Hill. Trustee Rolando Medrano,
Yes.
trustee Rosalie Ortega.
Yes.
And thank you, Dr. Linder, because you know we've been on this track for how long?
long time.
A long time, we've been asked asking, and that.
Well, Candy Martinez request.
Yeah, started with Kenny, yeah.
Can we name it for Kenny Medina
Uh,
and legal sign?
I guess you could.
Yeah.
But we don't usually name things for dead.
Yeah,
We don't wanna go there.
we don't wanna go there.
Sandy, okay, is dead and they need the library.
Some people are only ready.
Never tell them about it.
Vice President of Academics and Student Services, Dr. Romero. Would you be able to give us kind of a short version of your report?
Well, I will do my very best now.
Okay,
Dr. Romero, you get his name.
and entertain questions. The problem with us asking questions is that we have a chance to look at this, but we only have one meeting a month. In order to be able to listen to all these administrative reports, and sometimes we have questions, so we have to see our point of view. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board, President Linder. I will do my very best to be very brief with my report this morning or this afternoon. I do want to say that, I'm very excited to report about us hosting our first annual assessment summit here. We did this in collaboration with the Faculty Senate, as well as with the Director of Assessment, Sierra Fernandez's office. And this was a wonderful, wonderful event for us to continue to have every single year. So we wanted to kick it off this spring, especially since we were accepted into the HLC Assessment Academy. We had such great participation. And I can say one of the most engaging and fun things that we had was, number one, Dr. Linder and the president's office didn't have to plan anything. So she said, well, what do I do? And I said, show up, please give your state of the college address. Do it 5 minutes. And then no longer. That's right, and no longer. And then we played a nice fun version of Assessment Jeopardy, kind of like the meeting show. And then did a lot of other fun engaging kind of activities surrounding assessment. So this is gonna be an annual thing. So you're gonna hear about it probably every spring. But I'm really happy that we were able to work with the Faculty Senate and the Director of Assessment on getting this done. This will come out of our office with Faculty Senate every single year. The other thing that I just wanted to highlight is us hosting the UWC students on campus. In early January, they requested a specific campus tour to take a look at nursing facilities, allied health, automotive, and culinary. And so it was a really nice, fun day for them to be across campus and take a look at what we offer and the potential for their students to come here. So that was super fun. I also wanted to say that Luna has confirmed on April 17th of 2026, we are gonna be hosting a regional math convening. What this is this is a convening of math faculty and instructors across the K-12 sector. We will have a representative from the New Mexico Public Education Math and Science Bureau join us that day as well. Dr. Linder will be joining us for lunch. Her office will be helping sponsor this as well as my department. Recently invited. Yes. And the other thing is this math convening is gonna be led by our STEM faculty here. So it's gonna bring our K-12 partners together with us and talk about what math and STEM looks like in the state of New Mexico and what we need to be doing in our region to better support our students to be college ready. We are well on our way to having a full class for water level certification 1 that's gonna happen on February 17th. So we have 9 students enrolled, 5 are pending their financial assistance and clearance through the whole process for enrollment. I do want to say that we have a variety of students from the Bora Chacon area, and we have one student who's coming to us all the way from Grants, New Mexico. So that's really wonderful. We are also working on the process of having a digital score acceptance for CLEP and AP credit. Typically, we receive CLEP and AP scores via mail, but now we're working with the college board to get those electronically, which will be a quicker, faster evaluation and transfer delivery for our students. I know that the board has requested information about the Skills and Solutions Expo, so I want to give that information to you as well. Really quickly, April 30th, 2026, from 2 to 6 p.m. This is going to be a reverse job fair, is kind of what it'll be tailored for, right? It'll be designed to maximize graduate student placement and raise LCC student profile premier as a premier institution of highly skilled talent for our students in the community. And so what we're gonna have that day is a skills on display. So view tangible demonstrations of student mastery, including business plans, automotive, technical and collision work, culinary mastery, complex welding, fabrication, and more. We're inviting all disciplines, so it's not just CTE related, it's across the board for all academic units. Now, not all of them may participate because, for example, our business program is a fully online program, so we may have some limited participation there, but it is open to all of our programs. Each student is gonna present a polished employment portfolio, including a tailored resume. So if there's an employer who is interested in hiring them or wants to talk to them further, they can give that to them right on the spot and ready to go. So we're looking for entry right into the workforce as immediately and quickly as possible. The other thing is gonna be direct engagement, conducting immediate interviews and extend job offers for students within their departmental settings. And so we'll be reaching out to potential employers to get all of the logistics and all of those things coming together for that to happen, to have those employers and those potential folks come in and meet with our students and potentially be able to hire them, either after completion or on the spot. And then we wanna really just be able to let folks know, like, our students are very high achieving, and this is what we can offer our students to the workforce, the world in general. We want people to see what we're doing. We wanna make sure that folks know exactly what's going on at Luna when it comes to our students' skills and what they bring to the table. So that's kind of a brief overview for skills and solutions.
That's the question.
Sure.
How will you be reaching out to the businesses so that they can participate?
I don't have that detailed information for you just yet, but that is the logistical piece that we're currently working through.
Okay, just so you know, if it's email, it's great, but when stuff comes in, I like to see it like multiple times, because sometimes I miss it the first time, the second time, or the secretary doesn't give me the information. So just make sure that it's email, it's sent multiple times on multiple days possibly. Because we do miss it as business owners, sometimes I don't see it or they forget to tell me, so sometimes I'll catch it on the second or third try. But that's great to know, thank you.
Noted, thank you.
Did you prefer for us to ask the questions as you go along or once you're finished?
It is I am at the pleasure of the board.
Okay, I just think it's great that you brought United World College up. I think that's one thing we think I've been asked in the past and never happened, but this is perfect. This is exciting. And also, the water certification, I'm so happy that people from Moron, well, not on the list, to them bombard me anymore. Thank you.
And you are welcome to listen to them and then send them our way, so we can register.
I did. I asked him to come over here and give you a presentation. Okay, and the other thing is Villanueva Community Center for Potential Community Education Courses. That's great. This would be a first as well.
They were there, you had that trip.
Yes, so, we just took that trip, it was an exploration meeting, I will say that, it was an exploration meeting to determine what the needs are of the community center. They did reach out to my office and say that they would like for someone to come in and talk to them about what we could potentially do. There was a lot of ideas and things thrown out, so we're in the early planning and discussion phases, so once we kind of have more information, I'll be happy to share all of that. I will say it was a very productive meeting, former trustee Dr. Senna was there, with the remainder of the board from the Villanueva Community Center as well. And so we're really happy to be able to have these conversations with them to figure out how to meet the needs of their region and their area. And I mean, this is not something that is just gonna be isolated to the current, this current conversation. They've asked for kind of a town hall situation, so we're exploring how to expand that, not just to that area, but to all of the areas. What we really need to know is what do you need from us? We're in your area, we're in your region, what do you want from us? We wanna be able to hear those things so we can make sure to provide the tangible results that we know are going to give us the necessary support in those regions and in those areas that you all represent.
And I mentioned to you that one of our county commissioners asked me, what is Luna doing for you, this building? And I conveyed that information to you and hopefully, that planning, I know Ryan was involved in that, he wanted a phone number, so. I will let you take it up with those people, so that, again, we use their building. Go ahead.
Madam Chair, and well,
don't live in Mora, but I drive up there.
Yes.
They were asking about that building that, I guess, for, I was blank, I'm sorry.
The library,
The library and to see if they could set up somebody so they could do evening, classes for the GED program. That's what they were asking.
and the GED program is actually part of our program here at Luther.
Yeah, okay, so they were telling me, now I'm gonna call you, Madam Chair, and I forgot, I'm sorry.
No problem. We all work together here.
Thank you.
So if you could put that down. There must be several people that would like to complete their GED. And, I don't know how Stacy does it, but I noticed people having meetings there. And I know she only works 8 to 5, so I guess she has some way to let them use the buildings, which is great because it's not our building.
Question, Madam Chair.
I have one more item.
Sorry.
The Veteran Service Department was at a complete stop at some point. I mean, we had not heard anything about veterans or anything. And now that, Ms. Ortiz took over, she seems to be doing some work with that. And again, I have to answer questions to a veteran from Moron. I'm not even gonna say his name because everybody knows him. You probably know who.
Yeah.
Yes, and then so I'm glad that it's happening. And then on page 38, there's 2 pictures and I'm not sure what those pictures are of.
Sorry, Madam Chair, I don't have page numbers on my report, so.
Oh, division, it's just before admissions and recruitment, right after the water. Flyer on the next page.
Looks like, well, that's.
Yes, so these are,
Oh,
photographs, for the welding program, they were misplaced into the wrong section of the
Oh, I see.
report. But this is just activities that are happening within CTE, it should have been under Karen Totis's report, so these were just misplaced in the report.
sounds great. And the other item is on page 40 about the Office of Financial Aid. Hallelujah, we finally got somebody there. And they mentioned the 4 bullets that they're critical because we know, we heard about it for how long? Thank you. Then you can continue unless someone else has some of their.
I just had one question.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much, I mean, President. Senator and Madam Chair. When students sign up for a class, do all students get book charges, and if they are, even if they're taking a PE class? Auto welding, what if the student doesn't opt out, are they still responsible for those charges, and who's monitoring those charges?
So my office, along with the books, thank you for the question, Secretary Dominguez, Madam Chair, members of the board. Yes, all students are charged the $22 per credit hour for the book fee. However, students have an opportunity to opt out if they do not have materials that are associated with their course. They don't have to have that fee or anything. The students must act on the opt-out process. We are communicating effectively with our students in a variety of different ways about the opt-out process for First Aid Complete. That's what this comes to. We've taken, and specifically for PE courses, to address your specific question, Secretary Dominguez, PE courses don't have materials. So those students are automatically opted out. But any other student who doesn't want to participate in the First Aid Complete must opt out. They then, if they opt out of the First Aid Complete program and don't receive the digital or print materials that are associated with the course, they're responsible for securing those on their own. So if the students don't do the opt-out process, yes, they are responsible for those tuition.
But if there's no book.
If there's no book.
So having that said, it's up to the student to got. And PE doesn't because there's no material.
Correct.
So what if the student signs up? And the class fails? Class doesn't meet its minimum student ratio or curriculum to student ratio, whatever it is may be.
For cancellation.
For cancellation, if the institution cancels a class and this student's already signed up for it. is that an automatic, do we get automatically reimbursement or they still liable?
No, they are no longer responsible. If a course is canceled, all course fees, including tuition and book fees, are automatically reversed out of the student account. The student is not responsible for any fees or tuition and books with regards to a canceled course.
I see what you're saying, we're not in grade school, we're in college. And somebody has to have a little bit of skin in the game and we have to be a little bit responsible. I just wanna make sure that we're doing right, and by what you just said, or best practice, that we are doing right, you're getting notifications and you're putting out the information and they have to act on it, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that, Secretary Dominguez, and I do wanna say that we've had a lot of help with the communication on First Day Complete, not only from just the bookstore and the communication that we've sent out. We've had a lot of support from the faculty, from the academic directors, and the additional support staff across the campus to be able to make sure students understand what this process is.
As you can tell by my earlier report on finance, my job, first and foremost, is to steward of that spirit. More importantly, the vision of creating opportunities for the students that are not want to get their hardship on their students. So as you can tell, I speak for myself, can't speak for the rest of the world, but thank you for your report, thank you for that information, and I will convey that information to my constituents. Thank you, Dr. Governor, I appreciate you always. May I have the pleasure of speaking and saying, have a wonderful, safe afternoon, Dr. Portillo.
Everybody's gonna be adopted.
Yeah.
Everyone will be a doctorate to
Did
be.
you know that Titus University is together, a doctoral program?
They have already.
They have one already.
They don't have it approved yet though.
Oh, no, the DMP is approved.
Really?
Yeah, the DMP was approved prior to my departure.
Oh,
But then they're trying to get education.
yeah, that's, it's education.
Yeah, the PDD curriculum and instruction.
Yeah, but there's,
Yeah, they're trying to get the doctor of
Right.
education. Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you a really high level scope with regards to, you're welcome. To the sewing and community education, courses. I do wanna say one thing as I preface this and I start this process. With regards to enrollment and workforce development related courses like CDL and heavy equipment, we have 112 active students and that number grows every single day. So as I'm speaking and I gave this number as of today, there's a good chance that that's no longer the number. It's probably higher than that because we continue to receive students that are interested in CDL and workforce and the other workforce development courses that we offer. In addition to that, community education students is 54 students and growing. I made a visit this last week to the sewing room to kind of see how things were going, what it looked like for students and what it meant for them. I wanted to kind of see how they interacted with each other in the space, and all of those things. And we had a community member who was coming in to utilize our cosmetology and barbering program and who stumbled upon the course because she was lost on campus and said, "Is this a sewing class? Because I need to know where to sign up." So I walked her over to where she needed to be, gave her the information for her to sign up, and she's currently working with the department. But we continue to grow in those areas for a variety of different reasons based on specific community education courses and the expertise that comes out of there. And so with regards to that, I think that we continue to show exponential growth. And I do want to say that within the CDL program, we're at a 97% completion rate with roughly about 6.5 weeks to completion on the average for each student.
so I have one question. I asked you previously about the quilting class, which is different than the sewing.
She's gonna
So there's two.
Yes, and the quilting class, I mean, we heard it again, I heard it again last week. Because my concern is this, if it's $11 a week for 8 weeks, they're not getting credit. How is that different from the senior citizen rate of $5 a credit hour with credit?
So,
Could it go on that platform instead? That would be cheaper for them.
so I'm gonna say a couple of things with relation to quilting. Number one, our quilting instructor has decided on her own not to return. So
So there's no class.
there's no quilting course.
Okay.
The courses are not slated for an 8-week period either. Each of the community education courses are slated for a 10 to 12-week period to give them the full, almost an experience like they have a full semester of coursework. So it's not an 8-week course. If students are paying $11 a week, right? It is $11 a week across the 10 to 12 week time frame. And so if we look at the amount of money that it costs for us in overhead to pay an instructor without collecting additional dues and fees, right? Currently, the $11 per week is the most reasonable below market value that we can offer the students.
So it wouldn't work for them to go to a regular class with credit and pay less to senior citizens, but I think most of them are seniors.
Well, and it very well might be, but the issue is not whether or not we can easily transition it between a credit and a non-credit course. We transition the quilting from credit to non-credit, and so going in the reverse, I mean, we're really not making headway with what we're doing and offering community education. What I'm gonna say about that is I'm gonna say that my office, as well as the continuing education department, are looking at other further partnerships in order for us to be able to meet this population in the middle, right? We wanna be able to ensure that there is a place and a space for them to be able to come in and collaborate and work with each other. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the community education courses, we are not necessarily looking to have anyone leave. We don't want anyone to leave. We wanna continue to make those offerings, but we also have to have willing instructors who are willing to go through the current model, which includes enrollment in the Modern Campus forum and platform that we have, so we can track our students appropriately. If they're gonna receive funding from external agencies or funding sources, we wanna be able to track that as well. That's one of the great benefits of the Modern Campus platform. And the other thing about it too is we wanna be able to offer a variety of different community education courses related to silver threading, quilting, sewing, whatever people have the skill in. But as I mentioned, we are working on some alternative options at the very moment, but we don't have enough details to be able to share that because we're a very preliminary and premature conversation. I don't necessarily think, in my view, from the vice president's perspective, it makes a lot of sense for us to go back to a credit program for quilting if we're not going to offer something that is going to provide them a tangible certificate or a degree at the very end.
Okay,
One question.
go ahead.
Madam Chair, for the President. Dr. Romero, it's my understanding that possibly Luna might be sourcing or bringing to a test site here at Luna Community College. Is that true or is that hearsay?
A test site for,
CDMs.
Yeah.
yes, we are actively working on that. We are most definitely actively working on that, and we are in that conversation with the New Mexico Motor Vehicle Department and in the final stages of that process.
Are we gonna allow other entities, Red Home, Twin Carry, any other entities to come and test their students here to absorb the financial gain?
Of course, because that would be a revenue generator for the institution. And what we need to consider above all things, and what we need to make sure of as we continue to be good stewards of our taxpayers' money is that we are still a business, right? We are still a business and we still need to have some revenue streams that are coming in. While I totally understand that there are some concerns about whether or not some community education courses may have continued or discontinued, we are making every concerted effort by meeting with those instructors, by meeting with qualified people who will come in and teach community education to offer it still below market value according to what other community education courses are offered across the state.
Because our city, local, and state entities that have D4 at the city and the county can come and get their people to test here to absorb that. So it had been talked about before, but I just want to give a shout out right now real quick to our CDM instructor, to Johnny Martinez. He's an exemplary stature of what a truck driver is. He has over the road miles, probably over 1 million miles in his belt. Very stellar performance gentleman. So I think our students are getting the best and always accredited to you, Vice Chair, that we have a great program. Thank you. And I think you're very supportive of it, and thank you, because the next millionaires are gonna be tradespeople. They're not gonna be doctors and lawyers, I promise you that. But the next millionaires will be tradesmen, they'll be concrete running, carpenters.
Yeah, my daughter's very convinced that she will be the next millionaire welder.
Right mindset. So thank you very much for your report, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and I know just one final thing, trustee Dominguez, I know that you had indicated in the last meeting, and it is included for you in the report at the very end, under APP Montoya's report, information about college support card, and I stand for any further questions.
Unless, any other questions?
Dr. Rivera, you did
Since,
awesome, so thank you.
since we're only gonna give, Dr. Shields half an hour, but, you would propose that we do the, action item?
Yes,
Okay, so I would ask that someone make a motion to approve the summer 2026, summer 27 academic calendars as presented. Do I have a motion
I can make a motion, Madam Chairman.
and a second? And roll call, Ms. Cleaner.
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Louise Martinez. Secretary Mark Dominguez,
Yes.
trustee Andrea Sandy. Yes. Trustee Richard Behill. Trustee Rolando Medrano,
Yes.
trustee Rosalie Ortega.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
thank you very much.
Motion passed.
Madam Chair, if I may have you person for brief.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I'd like to apologize to Dr. Shields. First and foremost, we brought to my attention by trustee B. And I want to say that next board meeting, Dr. Shields, the person who made that motion to move you up on the agenda, I don't think that we should have you sitting here. This is at the other time. I want to apologize, and I apologize for the rest of my board members, because we are one, we are our own. And, Ms. Jessica, thank you for your time service and now for Dr. Shields again.
And I agree.
So, you will be moved up on the next board meeting, Dr. Shields, and I do apologize and won't happen again, sir.
No apology needed.
Right.
Formally, just so we didn't have to keep doing that because
Sometimes-
for this reason.
Sometimes they don't work on, trustee Sandy, thank you for that recommendation, I really know that you did bring that up specifically in the last board meeting, and it is, we'll, you can accommodate as we go, but so that's what. Thank you,
But
Dr.
it was in her report.
I did give it, but that's okay.
Oh, you put it in your report.
Yes.
My apologies, I just wanted to make sure that I needed that.
You can have mine now. I, printed mine out. Thank you.
We could use it as a paper.
Right. You can't use it for note paper because the front has it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Recycle. Okay, if you could get some high points. We
Yes,
would be
ma'am.
appreciative because Dr. Linder has to leave at 1:30. And as for myself and trustee Dominguez, we have already asked questions during the finance.
That's true.
So the only questions that should come, would be from the three remaining board members. Thank you.
What I would like to do is I'll just read the financial summary analysis, the rest of the report, I'll address any questions that you have. And that'll hopefully speed things along. So our financial summary analysis, our mid-year results reflect strong liquidity and a materially favorable ending balance driven by the institution-wide underspending that more than offset revenue softness. The revenue performance, of course, is our total revenues at 54% of the budget and creating a 6.7 million shortfall relative to the annual plan. The variance is concentrated in tuition fees at 42%, local appropriations at 36%, and public services at less than 1%. All which are pacing below mid-year expectation, but state appropriations at 61% remains the most stable source. Auxiliary revenue is at this 873% is significantly over budget due to front-loaded on unplanned receipts. Under expenditure performance, spending remains highly conservative at 40% of the budget, resulting in 11.3 in unspent appropriations. All major function areas are below mid-year pacing, but notable underspending in operation and maintenance at 30%, internal services 31%, public service 31%. Auxiliary is 75%, athletics are 58%. Athletics, of course, is front loaded at the beginning of the year, so it's not a real concern, and auxiliary hasn't been redistributed to other cost centers that it should throughout the year, so we will be getting that, and that figure will come down. So under the net position ending balance, despite revenue underperformance, the institution maintains a strong positive debt position due to disciplined spending and a robust beginning balance. The actual ending balance of 6.64 million exceeds the budget targeted of 4.9 million, driven by primarily underspending and timing difference in revenue recognition. So the overall outlook, the institution enters the second half of the fiscal year with substantial budget capacity, no executed transfers to date, and a favorable liquidity posture. Continued attention to revenue timing and higher burn auxiliary functions will help sustain the positive trajectory. So if the succeeding pages here, I wanted to just share is banking. You have your balances there of the operational accounts, and then you also have investments. Southwest, because of miscommunication, did not invest our money into what was approved. However, the rates and everything that was in the previous approval is the same. And Thursday, they'll be coming to the college with all the proper documentation so we can get those monies invested. Succeeding report, you'll see there gives you a little bit more detail into operation of the budget and actual summary. And as I stated in there, we are performing very, very well, even though some of our revenue has not met expectation at this time, but our spending is really under control and has done a great job. So I thank the president and my colleagues for working with me and making sure that we spend, not overspend, even though I blink sometimes, but at some things, but everyone is doing a fine job. So I do appreciate that. And of course, if you want to go toward our student receivables, that continues to be a little bit of an eyesore, but of course we have some challenges. We've got to get straightened out that refund money that was sent to the students before we can do any type of aggressive collections. So that information there, our accounts payable is pretty much relatively the same as we've done in the past. We're paying our bills pretty much on time. There's nothing really of any major standout in that objective there. Under our procurement summary, you'll see all the ones that are $15,000 or more and what our percent of use is at this time. Our payroll, of course, is doing very, very well. The compensation and benefits and professional services are all spending right around according to our plan. And what I really want to bring forth to you is the audit professional services. We still have some of the contractual audit services that is tied into the Genzibar, which has really been a challenge for us with transferring the Genzibar information into Workday. And so because of that, and I try to just share with you the importance of still needing them at this time so that we can get fiscal year 24 done. We have a lot of cleanup. Some of this cleanup go back several years. And so it complicates the whole situation with the transfer. But we are progressing and we're coming along pretty good. That's why we try to give you an up-to-date when it comes to the productivity report of their performance. We have spent about 112,000, a little bit over 50% of the allocated approved of the 200,000. We will probably have another update for the next report and determine if we need any type of increase in funding. Staffing is also still an issue. We have several key people still out on leave. And, we staffed one or two positions that's still, it's not, been, we haven't been able to fund those positions as of yet. So we're still, unfortunately, have a department that is not fully staffed where it can perform at a maximum capacity. And the last thing I have is the quarterly financial action report. And, Madam Chair, whenever you're ready, this is an action item that has to be approved.
Yes, I have a couple of questions,
Yes,
just,
ma'am.
up, just for, probably for everyone to see. Is Allied Health two high-risk instructional support units on page 54? Did you have a plan to cut those back so that they can, keep within the budget?
Yes, we're reviewing here now as we're putting our budget for fiscal year 27 together. Some of these, like I say, have, they're either, need to be redistributed or they are not in the proper location of their cost center. So it's.
Benefits. Like-
Yes, absolutely. Benefits is a major issue here because that is something that you can't directly, predict. And unfortunately, we have to adjust to whatever the charge is going to be for that particular year. We just don't have any control. Of course, our performance, in how our health is as a campus-wide family has some effect to it, but it's also, we're tied in with everybody else in a particular area that, will determine what that cost will be.
And the other thing is that the board has only spent 16% of our budget. I like that.
You're doing a fine job. I greatly appreciate
We
it.
spend it on the retreat. That's what I said. We'll have to get a presenter. Somebody would pay for somebody to present. Right, yeah.
Well, if you don't have to spend it, though, because we could use the money for some other areas. I do appreciate any, tidiness or, when it comes to the spending, so.
And the other thing is the page 62, the monthly procurement report that you have given us, the purchases that are over 15,000. We appreciate that as well. That helps us to answer questions out there in the community when we get asked.
Yes, ma'am. Well, as I stated before, I would always try to be, as transparent as possible for you. That way you can make the best sound, counsel decision.
Anyone have any other questions or comments for Dr. Shields?
I don't, Madam Chair.
Then if nothing else, you have presented a thorough report and any questions, other questions that we have, they're there for people to read. Discussion action item, HED quarterly report. I would like to entertain a motion to approve the second quarterly report that goes to the higher ed department.
Madam Chair, could I
Yes,
like to make the motion to approve the second quarter report?
and a second.
I'll second that, Madam Chair.
And roll call this, Leanne.
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez,
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Dr.
Give me a minute.
Martinez, Secretary Mark Dominguez,
Yes.
Trustee Andrea Sampi. Yes. Trustee Richard Miguel. Trustee Rolando Medrano,
Yes.
Trustee Rosalie Ortega.
Yes.
And I was actually reading my notes about all the future meetings that we're gonna have, announcement on date, time, and location. Regular Board of Trustees meeting Tuesday, March the 10th. Special meeting, March the 17th. Special meeting, March the 30th for the budget session.
31st.
Oh, 31st. And possible retreat scheduled for April 30th to May 1st. At this time, I would like to ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion, Madam Chair, we adjourn for the day.
And second,
Second.
and roll call.
Madam Chair, Dr. Phyllis Martinez.
Yes.
Madam Vice Chair, Lucas Portillos. Secretary Mark Lucas.
Yes.
Trustee Renee Sandy. Yes. Trustee Richard B. Hill. Trustee Rolando Petrano.
Yes.
Trustee Rosalie Ortega. Yes.
And thank you for the balance.